35,000 are here today, along with 50 Harley-Davidsons traveling at 50 miles an hour as the NASCAR birthday celebration continues. Welcome to the 6th race of the year. ESPN salutes the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing on its 50th anniversary.
1998 has been a thrilling season, punctuated with drama and wonder. The first 5 winners have brought us a mix of sparkling magic, chilling muscle, and some good old-fashioned desire. Rusty Wallace has seen it all. The Penske twins still lead the points, and Wallace has been patiently sitting, waiting for his turn to win. Perhaps this is his turn. This is his track. No matter the car, the color, or even the time of day or night, this veteran is an able volunteer for victory in Tennessee. A 6-pack of wins here, but Rusty hasn't flashed that winning smile in 34 races. Now he looks to yesterday to brighten tomorrow. Rusty Wallace is searching for that fine line between pressure and praise. And this is the perfect place for Rusty to race right now in the mountains of East Tennessee, because he's got a mountain of his own to climb. In the first 5 races, everyone has been expecting Rusty to stumble. Now they expect him to win. And so does he. So do I. So does everybody, except maybe the 42 guys that start behind him. 5 different winners in the first 5 races. The last time the NASCAR Winston Cup season started with 6 different winners was 1991. The 6th race was here, and the winner was Wallace.
To be successful in a game of high-speed Bristol bumper tag, a driver has to try moves that only rarely work. From the drop of the green flag, you must remember you're only 10 seconds away from being lapped. Disregard all the strategy and planning used in other races. Now it's time to rely simply on instinct and guts. The big money payout only comes on lap 500, so stay on the lead lap. And remember, at Bristol, anything can happen.
There's no question about it that Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, and Dale Jarrett have been the kings of the short track racing in Winston Cup. But in this field today, there are 9 different drivers that have won here at Bristol. And 4 of them, folks, will be pitting all the way over on the backstretch, including Dale Earnhardt and also Bill Elliott. Now, only one driver has ever won from the backstretch, and that is Davey Allison, and he was driving this car, the number 28 Texaco Haviland Ford. And today it'll be Kenny Irwin that pilots that car, making his Winston Cup debut at Bristol. An unbelievable day for him. He wants to win, but first he has to finish 500 laps.
You know, some tracks have a lot of wide open spaces. Take Talladega, for example. 43 cars on 2.66 miles. But here at the half-mile high banks of Bristol Motor Speedway, 43 cars. Well, that's like 215 cars racing at Talladega. Everywhere you turn, there's somebody to your left, somebody to your right, somebody behind you, somebody ahead of you. It can be very frustrating. You can feel almost like you're boxed in. And when you get frustrated, that can cause some problems. And when those problems occur, tempers begin to flare.
From Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee, ESPN Speed World presents the NASCAR Winston Cup Food City 500. Rusty Wallace is on top of the point standings by only 54 over his teammate, the defending series champion Jeff Gordon, 4th. And the guy who won on this track last fall in the night race, Dale Jarrett, comes in 10th in the point standings. This is absolutely unbelievable here. Look at the crowd. They've increased the seating capacity to 130,000 here, and every seat is filled as the crowd anticipates the running of 500 laps at Bristol. Absolutely incredible. Well, we're ready for some racing. You know, when we were in Darlington last week, we did the weight thing and how critical it was for just a little bit of tire pressure maybe to upset the balance of the car. this week, maybe the balance is at the driver's command.
You know, Bob, part of the makeup of all great athletes is his ability or their ability to concentrate. And I can't imagine any athlete in any sport where the concentration level has to be higher for a longer period of time than the race drivers here for 500 laps at the Bristol Motor Speedway. It is very mentally tiring, and they have to be very patient to win here. And just a lapse of concentration for a moment can put them out of position to win. Well, you got to be patient, but you also have to be very aggressive. And you can be in trouble very quick here. You can get lapped very quick here. So, Benny, tough place to race.
It is tough, and it's so doggone tough physically. And that's one thing that hurts the concentration, because if they run 100 laps a day, some of these drivers will literally have their tongue hanging out because they will be exhausted. And it's hard to concentrate like you need to when you're just that tired.
The crowd can't wait. They're doing the wave as the drivers anticipate the command to start engines here in just a moment. But just look at this place. You wouldn't recognize it from 5 years ago, and you certainly wouldn't recognize it from 10 years ago. They have done an incredible job of building new stands and accommodating the drivers and the spectators. There isn't a bad seat in the house. 43 cars and drivers are lined up on pit road, getting set to go on to the racetrack. And they, of course, will have to battle it for 500 laps here this afternoon in the Food City 500. Beautiful day here. There's partly cloudy skies and a temperature in the upper 70s. Excellent racing conditions for both the drivers and for the spectators.
Winston Cup champion Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost time for the most famous words in all of motorsports. Please welcome back the Grand Marshal for today's Food City 500, the president of the University of Tennessee, Joseph Johnson. Gentlemen, start your engine.
With that, the cars fire to life. The waiting is almost over for the spectators. They are set for some racing, and so are we. And we'll be back to give you the starting lineup and get this thing going in just a moment from Bristol Motor Speedway. Baby. Okay.
No 98. No 98.
No 98. Where did that come from?
I don't know. It was Mike's fault.
I'll do 7.
Okay, Rose 7.
Yep.
He doesn't wear a strap. Okay. And I'll do through 14th row, and they'll do the rest of them.
Okay. Can I borrow this one?
Yeah, sure can.
Thank you.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway, being brought to you by Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. Add more life to your car. By First Plus Financial. At First Plus, we're working first for you. And And by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more champions trust. Cars begin to roll out and take a couple of warm-up laps before we get going. Race record is held by Cale Yarborough, but that was set way back in 1977. The purse is over 1.7, almost $1.8 million. They're going to need a fuel stop between laps 140 to 160. We'll probably have a few yellows before then. Today's field consists of 22 Fords and 14 Chevys and 7 Pontiacs, and the battle for the manufacturer's championship going into this event is tied between Ford and Chevy at 34 points each. Here's the EverStart Walmart grid. On the pole is Rusty Wallace, his 4th pole here at Bristol, alongside Jeff Gordon going for 4 straight wins in this event. Row number 2, Terry Labonte with 2 wins at this facility, and Mike Skinner. The 3rd row, Jeff Burton, his best Bristol finish in 8 races is 4th, and Dale Jarrett, who won here last year. In the 4th row, Bobby Labonte, the winner at Atlanta earlier, and Johnny Benson, 16th in points after missing 1 race. The 5th row is Mark Martin, 5 consecutive Bristol top 5s, and Jeremy Mayfield, his best finish here, a 9th. The 6th row, Greg Sachs, his best start of 98, and Morgan Shepherd subbing for Wally Dallenbach. The 7th row, Kenny Wallace, the pole winner here last August, and Kenny Schrader, who was 6th in the final rundown last August.
On the inside of row 8 is Derek Cope. On the outside, Todd Bodine, 2 Bush wins here. In row 9, subbing for Craven is Randy LaJoy. Jeff Bodine, 5th at Rockingham this year. In row 10, Rick Mass, pole winner at Rockingham, and Brett Bodine. New crew chief, Jerry Kennan, back in row 11. John Andretti on the inside, Kevin LePage, a rookie on the outside. In row 12, Jerry Nadeau, his first time ever to Bristol, and Sterling Marlin. In row 13, Hutch Strickland and Jimmy Spencer. His best finish at Bristol is 4th. In row 14 this afternoon, Kenny Irwin, a rookie, and Ernie Irvin.
And in row 15, we find Ted Musgrave and David Green. Row 16, Robert Presley and Michael Waltrip. Row 17, Kyle Petty and Chad Little. Row 18, Ricky Rudd and Lake Speed. Row 19 is made up of a pair of former champions, Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott. Row 20 is Ward Burton and Bobby Hamilton. Row 21, Dick Trickle and Steve Grissom, and Darrell Waltrip in the 43rd position.
We have several onboard cameras that will be covering the action here today.
There's Bill Ellis, McDonald's Sport, starting back in 30th spot, and then his teammate, Jerry Nadeau, First Plus Financial. He started up in the 23rd spot. Randy LaJoy, the Budweiser Chevrolet, will start 17th, as you see. Todd Bodine, the Briggs & Stratton onboard camera.
Also, Kenny Wallace will carry a camera in his Square D Ford. And Mark Martin, who starts way up in the front, will be also carrying an onboard camera.
Mike Skinner be carrying the onboard camera 4, starting in 4th spot outside the second row, and the pole sitter, Rusty Wallace, Miller Lite onboard camera.
Pace car has the field in tow now. They're going to make another lap.
No. They're coming to green right now.
Turning in. And the green flag waves. The Food City 500 is underway.
Traffic behind this car. This is Randy LaJoy's car. On top of this car is roof cameras. We watch Todd Bodine try to work his way back. Now back to the rear bumper of the Briggs & Stratton onboard, Todd Bodine's car.
Oh, we have some cars getting all mixed up there in the second turn. They're sliding around, but everybody keeps it straight. David Green lost a lot of positions, though, as his car got out of control. Everybody's okay, though.
And here's trouble off of turn 4. Jerry Nadeau spins around.
He keeps going, and Lake Speed hits the inside pit wall, and that's going to cause the caution.
Still inside.
I thought maybe everybody was going to get through and turn in the right direction. We could save this caution, but not the case as Lake Speed slid into the inside wall.
Not a lot of damage, but enough that he could not get the car started. The fender's knocked in on the left front tire, and he is a lap down. I tell you what, these guys just cannot catch a break. I'm talking about Lake Speed and the Mellon Cartoon Network crew. Seems like if trouble's on the racetrack, it reaches out and finds Lake Speed.
Over in turn 2, there was a big mix-up. Here that is.
Something happened up front, and John Andretti tried to stop to avoid that, and behind him, that was a near wreck. The cars get around to the front stretch, and there on the inside of Jerry Nadeau, I guess, is Kenny Irwin. Is that not Irwin, Ned? Looks like him. Makes some contact off the corner. Around goes Nadeau. Now he spins around, does a 360, nails that gasoline to keep it off the wall. And behind, someone no doubt will run in the back of, I guess Lake Speed was just trying to dodge somebody. And boom, just touched the wall with the left front.
So 2 of the rookie contenders get tangled up and cause a problem here on the main stretch. There's the contact between Kenny Irwin and Jerry Nadeau, sending Nadeau's car into a full 360. And then others getting tagged behind, and Lake Speed into the wall. Here's the First Plus Financial on board.
He does a great job.
That was unbelievable, Ned. I mean, how in the world he spun there and got so many cars, and Dale Jarrett is in the pits already changing tires.
Wow, an unscheduled pit stop here in the 7th lap under caution. This is going to cost Dale a lot of track position, but better to do it now than under green.
He got caught on the outside and dropped back from 6th to 10th on the start of the race.
Bill Weber, what's going on?
He had a flat left front tire. Flat left front tire. Jarrett comes down pit road. We'll update here in a second, but that cost him a lot of track position. Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, Lake Speed came in with the Cartoon Network car, but they did not change tires. There was just a minor amount of damage to the left front. The crew banged out the fender. They sent him back out on the racetrack.
So everybody is still going, except we do have a couple of cars that lost a lap. Ricky Rudd lost a lap, and so did Lake Speed in the number 9 car. Field is being given the indication that we'll go back to racing next time around. It's Rusty Wallace up front, followed by Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon. Bill?
This is the left front tire off Dale Jarrett's car. Benny, valve stem. Looks like somehow it got broken off.
That's what happens when 2 cars get awfully close. Something just reaches out and stops and snaps that valve stem off. When it does, all there leaves the tire.
Dale Earnhardt came out ahead in all of that scoring. Green comes out. Back to racing. Rusty Wallace is leading for the 17th time here at Bristol. Trying to pick up another position from Kenny Irwin. A little bit of bumping there in the 3rd corner, and Earnhardt does get the spot.
Ooh, and Irwin's going to lose some more spots too. The train will go by. Once you get up in that outside groove, everybody takes advantage of it that are behind you and try to move in and move around you.
Well, our scoring monitor indicated that Rudd had lost a lap, but he has not. The only car that did lose a lap was Lake Speed. In fact, Rudd is running up there in 29th position.
Right on top with Bill Elliott as he goes down in the corner. We see Kenny Irwin is still caught on the outside. Bill wants to get there right on the back of the 21. Said, wait a minute, Kenny, don't come down too quickly. I want to get by as well.
And they touch. And Bill Elliott backs off a little bit, lets Irwin get back in the groove.
Meanwhile, up front, Terry Labonte continues to pursue Rusty Wallace.
He didn't pursue him long. He's going to make a move going into turn 3. No, he couldn't quite do it. Rusty slides up just a little bit, but still, Labonte can't get by.
Rusty left that lower lane empty for just a moment, and Terry was unable to take advantage of it. First 4 cars that include Wallace, Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, and Jeff Burton have kind of separated themselves from the 5th place car of Mike Skinner.
Bobby Labonte and Greg Sachs got together a little bit going into turn 3. Everything was okay. Labonte lost about 3 positions.
Yeah, he did. He lost a lot of positions as he got caught on the outside.
Morgan Shepherd driving the 46 car is in 10th place. Bobby Labonte is in 11th. And we're on board with Kenny Wallace now. Rusty Wallace continuing to lead here at Bristol as 17 laps have been completed out of the 500 that make up the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Not pushing him like the 5 car was yet.
Welcome back to Bristol and the Food City 500. We have a new leader. Terry Labonte has gotten the lead from Rusty Wallace. In fact,
spin over here. Jerry Nadeau again coming off of turn 4.
And he's damaged that car extensively.
Yeah, he was fortunate the first time, Bob. He didn't hit anything, but this time he did.
Yeah, he's broken the radiator and maybe the oil cooler on the car. You see behind the car.
Go ahead, follow behind the wall when you get here, Jerry, and we'll radiator in it.
While we were in break, we did have a lead change. Here's how Terry Labonte went to the front of the field, getting by Rusty Wallace.
Comes off the second corner, gets on the inside, and you know, Rusty Wallace really did not fight him like we've seen Rusty fight before. Could be the points leader would have something to do with that, huh, Ned?
I would say so. He's driving very smart now, no doubt about it. He takes what his car will give him right now. He knows he's already led the race, got those 5 bonus points. And here's Gordon. Got by him also right before the caution came out.
Yep, Jeff moved to second position and putting Rusty back to third. We're on board with Jerry Nadeau. We'll see what happened. He did down here on the straightaway. He didn't hit anything, but he sure made contact with the third turn wall in that incident. He has gone behind the pit wall, and they have some work to do on the First Plus Financial Ford Taurus. Terry Labonte, the leader, back in a minute. Uh-huh.
That ball. Okay, thank you. Is this chair in your way, Bob?
Didn't look like you got any bump, any help, did it, Ned?
Didn't look like it.
Hey, y'all.
A lot of
how you doing?
Pitts had a bunch of cars. Oh, okay. Well, he's been banging around a good bit out there.
The 30 car did?
He came in the pits.
Oh, I see.
Driver change there?
I don't know if they changed drivers or not. I didn't think about that.
Was there a driver change in the 30 car?
Jeff, right?
No.
Green is going to.
Thank you, Slob.
Jeff Green, right?
Yes, yeah. Standing by.
Usher.
Unbelievable. Is that spotters over there in turn 3, I guess?
Must be lined up like ducks in a row.
Like doves on the power line.
No promo. Okay. Field is but a half a lap from green here. This shot courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam hovering over Bristol Motor Speedway. Pace car off the racetrack. We're ready to go back to racing.
You ready? Ready?
Get ready. Get ready.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Lake Speed slow on the bottom of the racetrack.
He just came out of the pits, Ben. He'd been back there for about 18 laps. And he just came back out onto the racetrack.
On board with Mark Martin, who's 6th. That's Mike Skinner up ahead, passing Lake Speed. Here's our Tabasco Hot Zone telemetry.
Be down to just 102 miles per hour in the middle of the corner, up to about 126 miles per hour. For an average speed of about 115 miles per hour. The RPM 70. Watch as he accelerates down the corner. That time is only get up to about 7,800.
Now Jeremy Mayfield just picked up his spot. He went around Mark Martin, so move Mayfield to the 6th position. That's Johnny Benson in the 26th car, right on Mark's tail now. Couple of the Jack Roush repair cars.
Talked to Jimmy Fenton this morning. He said they're not quite right talking about Mark Martin's car, the Valvoline Ford. They were concerned about it. Concern, talking to the crews and the crew chiefs this morning, the biggest concern they have is because this is going to be one of the warmest days they've ever raced at Bristol in the last 10 or 15 years. The night race is warmer, but when the sun goes down, the racetrack does get some adhesion to it. It's going to be, oh, supposed to spin there is Morgan on the back, right on the back bumper of Greg Sachs. They made some contact, but Sachs moved up the hill, and now the train is going by.
Yeah, those guys have been trying to wreck for several laps. The 98 car now up in the outside lane and sees a lot of drivers pass by, including Ken Schrader up ahead, and now Todd Bodine exchanges a little paint with Greg Sachs and also moves up a position.
Here comes Randy LaJoy. Well, they're doing some serious rubbing in the corner, and that's how Dale Jarrett.
We're all around.
That's how Dale Jarrett had that left front tire go flat. Is rubbing like that.
Bill can update the 18 car of Bobby Labonte, who's running 11th.
And we heard him in NASCAR today talk about how they were good in qualifying, but they were awful in final practice here on Saturday. Right now, Bobby says the car continues to push up the racetrack. They're going to go down 2 rounds on the right rear track bar, so Bobby's fighting a handling problem. And further down pit road is John Kernan.
Gary Cope started from the 30th position. He's been on pit road twice during that last caution where he started 15th. Now he's dropped back in the pack in the 30 car. He got into the back of somebody and had some severe damage on the right front of the car. But hey, this is Bristol. Aerodynamics aren't that big a deal. They taped it up, sent Derek back out on the track, and he is trying to play catch up in a hurry right now because Terry Labonte is closing in on the guys at the tail end.
Here comes more by the 98 of Greg Sachs. John Andretti, Ted Musgrave, and Dale Earnhardt also moves up a spot. Jimmy Spencer, meanwhile, is up there in that outside lane. He's caught, and he's losing several positions.
Well, he passed Ernie Irvan on the outside, but then he moved up on some other cars, and he couldn't go that well up there, so now Irvan has passed him back.
Robert Press is trying to do it on the outside, and also now we see Ernie Irvan trying to get on the inside of Sachs. In the corner, is there contact? No, Sachs moves up, gives him some racing room. Now Spencer's going to try to follow.
All this from the Pennzoil copter cam again.
You sit back there in the middle of a pack like that, see how they're running bumper to bumper and actually bumping a little bit, and you've got a race car that'll go faster than you're going. But, and you know, you want to go, but you can't.
Meanwhile, Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon, and those running up front are shortening the distance before lapping begins.
Look at that. I mean, there's Labonte, and there's that pack of cars that every one of them does not want to get lapped. They desperately want to get in front.
Dale Jarrett is right in the middle of that group as he had an unscheduled tire change after breaking a valve stem. That has put him right now back to 33rd position and unable to do much running in this much traffic. "51 laps are completed. Labonte leads over Gordon, Burton, and we haven't crashed."
Ted Musgrave and Ricky Rudd are going around. That's on the backstretch.
Okay.
Todd Bodine is the other car involved besides Musgrave.
I'm sorry, that was Todd Bodine, not Ricky Rudd. I looked up and saw that orange car and thought it was Rudd. I'm sorry.
Third caution of the day here. And there's damage to the Tabasco Grand Prix of Todd Bodine, and there's also damage to Ted Musgrave's car.
How in the world did he get the hood bent? He must have driven under Ted Musgrave's car.
Get the bar under there.
Todd's pit is the first one off of turn 4, and he's already gone in there for repair work. Here's a replay.
Okay, the orange car in front there is Todd Bodine, and here comes Musgrave. They make contact right there. And Todd spins around, and then, yeah, Musgrave just runs right up over the left front of the Todd Bodine car.
Wow.
Well, we're going to be seeing some pit stops here. They all come. Bill Weber, they're coming to you.
Terry Labonte will lead the parade down pit road. This could be a break for Jeff Burton. They thought he might have a tire going down. The 5:24, the 2 on your screen. Rusty Wallace has the first pitch on pit road, so he's got the easy out. 1 pound out of all the tires but the right front on Rusty, and 1 round of wedge in the left rear. Gordon's got his tires on the right side. They're around to the left on the 5 also. Fuel going in. 54 laps on the board. Waiting on Rusty. He's down. He beats Terry Labonte out. Gordon should be next, followed by Martin, the 7th. Then Ray on the backstretch.
Well, Bill, Dale Earnhardt's team is in. They're going to do a 4-tire stop here. They're going to make a little bit of an adjustment because Dale said the car is tight.
goes on. You see where Dale Earnhardt falls into the group. Another great pit stop by the Rusty Wallace team here on the front stretch. So the third caution waves after 55 laps. This incident on the back stretch between Ted Musgrave and Todd Bodine. Stand by for more live coverage of the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway.
Man, I saw that orange car and right away said Rudd.
I thought the same thing.
He kind of run over that left front, didn't he? Man.
Yes, he did.
Interesting to see where Kyle's going to come out in this mix.
It's good.
That's Dino.
Well, thanks for showing it to us.
Yeah. RPM will have it tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, where was he running? I guess Kyle didn't change any tires, huh? Yes, only he and Michael.
He had stopped during that other caution Kyle had.
Did he?
Yeah, and he was really running good.
What about Chad and Elliott?
They had stopped during that other caution, so they stopped it on this one.
Okay, thank you.
So how many laps did 97, 94 have? You know? Lynn?
Depends on when that other caution was.
Yeah, we stopped early. Where the other caution was.
Just gone green, and the leader of the race is Chad Little. Now, he stopped during the earlier caution, did not stop during the most recent one. He's out in front, but Wallace, Labonte, Gordon, and others are right behind him.
Bill Elliott now is in 5th place. He too did not stop here, but 3 cars have passed him.
Ray has an update on Bill Elliott. Ray?
Well, Bob, they're telling me down here that everything is really good with Bill Elliott's car. He said it's probably the best car that he's ever had at Bristol. Let's go to John Kernan.
Updating you on a couple of the drivers. Jeremy Mayfield took 4 tires and then the chassis adjustment in the left rear of the car was just a little bit loose. Mark Martin, 4 tires, no changes. Jeff Bodine started the race 18th. They took only right side tires. That moved him all the way up to 9th. They wanted to try and get a little track position early on in this race.
You're watching 9th, 10th, and 11th right there. Here is back up front. Rusty Wallace is poised to make a move on Chad Little and will do so in turn number 3.
You got that fender up alongside, had the preferred groove, the inside groove going into the turn, make pass.
And that means when one car goes by, 3 cars are going by, because once you get the 97 up out of the groove, out of the accelerator, lose a little bit of momentum, it's simple for the other cars to go by. Now we're right back where we started, except it's shuffle. Rusty Wallace is now leading, and Terry Labonte is 2nd, and Jeff Gordon has lost a spot to 3rd.
We've had 3 different leaders, 3 lead changes so far in the first 65 laps of this race. Morgan Shepherd, we talked about the word aggression during our open. Well, here's a driver who is being very aggressive, Morgan Shepherd.
Well, he's debuting for a ride, Bob. Rick Mast, he's following the Remington Arms Ford up. Ooh, a little touch.
Didn't quite get by. Still racing. They're racing for the 15th and 16th position. Mast has 15th now. Morgan's going to get it there.
Yep. And here comes Earnhardt on the inside of Kenny Wallace. Brett Bodine's trying to follow.
Earnhardt started 37th and is currently up to 17th. Meanwhile, in front of that group is Jeff Bodine, as he leads Jeff Burton and Jeremy Mayfield.
That's 9th and 10th.
Now remember, Jeff Bodine only took on right side tires, but hanging in there pretty good at the moment.
Mike Skinner watches on as he follows Jeremy Mayfield. Mike Skinner right now is running in the 12th spot.
Check out the upper left box. You see where the Hendrick cars are running. 2nd, 3rd, and 29th. Randy LaJoie again substituting for Ricky Craven.
Now Jeff Bodine is rooted up out of that bottom groove, so he will lose some spots as Mayfield goes by. Jeff Burton, Mike Skinner. And Johnny Benson is going by as well.
Maybe those left side tires are not doing the trick for him here now. Jeff Bodine
drops back to 13th. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace has built up a bit of an advantage. It is 83 hundredths of a second. And we check out the speeds. Looks like Terry Labonte. Nope. Make that Ricky Rudd had the fastest lap.
I don't think he ran 131. I think he ran 113.
Let's hope so.
If he ran 131, he did like that gal on TV, that commercial, you know, when they came up to the, yeah, 112 something, that jumps over the toll booth.
Yeah.
Wouldn't work, too.
Yeah, there's a good picture of Bristol. As we look at what used to be the back bumper. This is Todd Bodine's Tabasco Pontiac. We're looking at the back of Briggs and Stratton onboard camera.
Todd lost 2 laps when he came in for repair. Obviously, they didn't complete the entire repair job, but he's out there in 41st position. 2 laps down after the incident with Ted Musgrave, who dropped a lap down, and he's in 40th. Now, Todd loses another lap as Rusty Wallace makes another move. Let's go down to the pit area once again.
Bob, it's not just the cosmetic look of the sheet metal damage on Todd Bodine that's causing him a problem right now. When he had that contact out there on the racetrack, it also messed up the alignment, the toe end. So the car is a big handful right now. They're hoping to get a caution so they can come in and fix that just to make it a little bit easier on Todd. They know their chances at a top 10 finish today are pretty much gone out the window. They just want to complete all the laps that they can. They would like to fix it to make it a little bit easier on their drivers.
You can see the wrinkled hood that Todd is looking over. Now here's Mike Skinner and Johnny Benson racing for 10th position.
On the outside. Yeah, that didn't work too good. So let me try the inside. That worked a lot better.
Oh, yeah. Benson moves to the top 10.
Johnny Benson was 40th after Daytona in the Winston Cup Points Standings. Now has moved to 16th.
There is a peculiar odor in the air, and it could be coming from the 40 car.
And when you say peculiar odor, he's in the pits. Could be rear gearing. No, they're going under the hood, Ray. What's going on?
Well, Ned, they thought it was the rear end. There was a lot of smoke. They're going to try to get this car cooled down a little bit. All the smoke is coming up from the rear end, but they're not exactly sure what the problem is yet.
I think they're looking in the wrong end, yeah.
Well,
now they're looking in the back end.
Yeah. Sterling has problems. There's no question about that. As Mark Martin now takes third position from Terry Labonte. So it's now Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, and Chad Little hanging in there in fifth position as 85 of the 500 laps here at Bristol have been completed.
Just past Earnhardt?
I don't know.
Did Brett just pass Earnhardt? Did Brett go down just past Earnhardt? I thought so.
Oops. That car is not going to drive very well. The track is not tracking.
Okay. I don't think.
Well, no.
Don't think the 41 had anything to do with it.
Unless he just took some air off the spoiler.
Yeah.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
Back up a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, correct.
Some catches.
As those radial tires get ripping, they just shoot you right out there. You've been better off to hit the gas and spin around.
Like Nadu did.
Yep.
Did Rusty pit?
No.
They didn't come in, huh?
No.
ESPN Speed World is live at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500, and the fourth caution has stopped our racing for the moment. Came out on lap number 90.
And it involved Kenny Irwin. Made contact with the outside retaining wall up in 3 and 4, and you can see the damage to the car.
And it happened on lap number 88, and it all started in the backstretch.
These are the cars we're talking about. That's Kenny Irwin on the inside, Steve Grissom on the outside, and going in the corner, it looks like that Irwin trying to get in the corner too hard, and Grissom would take some air off the spoiler. He loses control. When he turned that thing back to the right, Ned, those radial tires hooked up and just sent him right in the wall.
They really did. If he would have had the presence of mind, of course, I know it's hard to think of everything, but if he could have stood on the gas right before it made that right-hand turn, he might could have spun it around like Jerry Nadu did a little bit earlier.
Ray is with Sterling Marlin.
Well, Bob Benny was definitely right. They were looking at the wrong end of the Coors Light number 40. It's definitely rear end gear, huh?
Yeah, burn the gear up. Water temperature started races up a little bit. Yeah, he wrecked down there, and I got against Earnhardt a little bit. It didn't really hurt it. Water temperature is the same, and just burn the gear up. Put one in this morning. Burn it up. Coors Light, Chevy's running good.
Now we're back to green.
Yes, indeed. Racing resumes. Rusty Wallace still at the front of the field. Gordon, Martin, Labonte, Terry Labonte, and Chad Little are the top five.
Now, Chad Little didn't come in that time either. He had pitted on the very first caution, keeping that track position. He's about to lose the position there, though, as Jeremy Mayfield in the 12 car tries to go around the green 97 of Chad Little.
Contact between those two. Both cars tail end kicked out just a little bit as they got loose off the corner.
There's still 36 of the 43 cars on the lead lap as we watch this battle for fifth. Ooh, Mayfield got a little bit loose.
This from the Pennzoil copter cam. It looks like the Jeremy's going to get the job done now. So move him into fifth position.
Now Jeff Burton, his teammate, pulls in behind Chad Little. He probably will not give him as much trouble as Jeremy Mayfield. And we see Johnny Benson, another teammate, in the Cheerios car right behind. Come on, Johnny, make it 3 abreast here, Bristol.
Yeah, right. A big group of cars here. That's Steve Grissom, Greg Sachs, Bobby Hamilton, Bobby Labonte, Dick Trickle, Darrell Waltrip, and others.
And most of these cars made pit stops during this last caution. Bobby Labonte was sort of going backwards, his car not handling very well, so he came and made pit stops. So did most of these others, made adjustments on their cars, and they're scrambling to try to get on up towards the front as much as they can, even though right now they're not in jeopardy of being let down. But they know Rusty Wallace is out there running by himself, and with them here racing, that he's going to catch them in a hurry.
That's 29th, 30th, 31st, 32nd, 33rd, and on down the line. With 100 laps to go, you can look at the field summary. See Hutch Trickle, the last car in the lead lap.
Our Napa field summary here will show you the points as of now, with Jeff Gordon in third now, Terry Labonte fourth, and Dale Earnhardt fifth in the point standing, showing you new information this year on our field summaries, besides where they are running at the moment. 6 through 10 in the point standings. As of now, Martin, Jeff Burton, Elliott, Jarrett, and here's 11 through 15.
Here's another group of cars that are racing up towards the front. Dale Jarrett and Robert Presley just got around Ernie Irvan. We got a crash here off turn 4. Steve Grissom up against the wall.
He was running in that big pack of cars that we followed for a while, and he's now up against the outside wall coming onto the front stretch.
You knew something had to happen in that crowd, Bob, the way that they were jockeying around and touching each other. And something had to give.
Last year there were a record 20 cautions for 132 laps in this 500 lapper, and already here in the first 105 we have had 5. Steve Grissom has the car running again and headed for the pit area. Let's see if we can determine what happened.
Well, he's the white 41 on the outside there. Dick Trickle in the car number 90 touches him just a little bit, doesn't take much, and around he goes and up into the wall, and the leaders are in the pits.
Here's John Kernan.
Mark Martin pulls into his pit stall. We would anticipate a 4-tire change. Not anticipating any chassis adjustments or air pressure adjustments. Mark fairly happy with the car, and they're working on the right side. Now let's go to Bill Weber.
4 tires, 1 round of wedge in the left rear for Rusty Wallace. Right side tires are on. Gordon also has his right side, getting his left. The fuel going in. Mayfield heading down pit road. Rusty leaving down to 24, then squeezes the 99 between the 12 and 4, and the rest of the field charges off pit road. Ray Earnhardt's in.
Back here at the 3-car build, they're going with a 4-tire change. They've taken a right rear rubber out of the car, and Steve Grissom just also came in. But folks, you got to remember, he was not able to pit that last time because he is sharing a pit stall with Dick Trickle here on the back. Boy, things are really congested here at Bristol.
Not only on the racetrack, but also in the pit area. Earnhardt brings the GM Goodwrench Service Plus Monte Carlo back onto the racetrack. Riding with Bill Elliott under caution here, who is at the front of the field. Dale Jarrett is back on pit road.
Got a problem with the right front there. He got together a little bit with Robert Presley when he made a pass on him. Bill, what's going on there?
Yeah, he's had a battle here since the green flag. They are working on that right front fender, trying to pull that sheet metal back up. Dale's going to sneak back out. I imagine he'll be back for another visit. John Kernan.
Jeremy Mayfield's crew checking over his tires. A few laps before this caution came out, Jeremy had radioed in the car's getting very, very loose. I think I may have a tire going down. Haven't had a chance to talk to the crew yet as they check the wear and the temperature across the tires as to the fact that he actually did have a tire going down. But this came at a perfect moment for them to keep them from having to pit under the green flag, change tires, and lose at least a lap.
And once again, he is running near his teammate, Rusty Wallace. Jeremy is in 9th position and Rusty is 8th. Back in a moment.
DJ had come from 42nd up to 16th, and now he's back there again.
Wow. Yeah, he was really coming up to
yeah,
that.
He was. He really was moving good. But when he and Robert Presley got together coming off of turn 4, I saw the smoke boil up. That was about 5 laps before this caution came out.
Earnhardt lost 13 spots that.
Yep.
Slav says the first 7 cars pitted on lap 90.
Okay.
Is why they chose not to pit this time.
It's all those cars we saw racing back there together.
Then we get back to the cars that they just saw. Do it before the green flag comes up.
Yeah. Really.
Green flag. Go to the right.
The green has just come out, a half a lap completed under green. Ted Musgrave got a lap back. He got a great run, and when the green came out, he was there to pass the current leader, Bill Elliott. And Bobby Hamilton also has gotten a lap back.
Bobby Hamilton just took the lead from Bill Elliott.
Oh, okay.
Put the Kodak Film Chevrolet in the lead. The first 7 cars pitted on lap 90, so this time they chose to stay on the racetrack. Only about 10 laps on their tires, and to Greg Sachs, the 90 car, Dick Trickle, Darrell Waltrip, the 18 car, Bob Labonte.
Bobby Hamilton's leading his 2nd race of 1998. He led at Rockingham, only 1 lap. Back up front here at Bristol. Here are the Penske teammates once again, Rusty Wallace and Jeremy Mayfield. Hut Strickland is there in the 8 car. That's the battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th.
And we see Strickland, the Circuit City Chevrolet, losing another spot to Jeff Burton. Here comes Jeff Gordon.
There's how the Penske cars are running. Rusty 7th, Jeremy Mayfield in 9th. Rusty, the pole sitter here today, and stands to win a lot of money if he can win the race. He'll win the 76 Challenge and also the Winston Leader bonus.
Rusty Wallace just passed Darrell Waltrip. Now he's passing Bobby Labonte. Jeremy Mayfield trying to get by. The 1 car is Darrell Waltrip. 7-4, Steve Park. Darrell Waltrip driving over Dale Earnhardt. That just doesn't sound right, does it?
Well, some of the great battles that we've had in the past, almost feuds, I guess you would say, and now they're together. A lot of respect for each other, though.
Waltrip has sold his team to T.J. Beverly from Texas. And T.J. wanted to shut the team down for about 3 months to get reorganized. And Dale Earnhardt wanted a driver for 3 months while Steve Park recuperates. And so it worked out well for both.
Dick Trickle trying to get on the inside of the 98 car, the Thorn Apple Valley Ford of Greg Sachs. And here comes Rusty Wallace.
Dick Trickle up there in the Heilig Myers car recorded his best career finish here Last year, he's finished third 5 times, and his most recent one was last year in this race at night.
And Greg Sachs goes uphill just a little bit, gives Trickle the opportunity to get on the inside. Rusty said, guys, please don't rush in front of me.
Yep. Rusty takes advantage of Sachs being high. He goes down on the inside.
Jeremy Mayfield also goes by.
And here comes Jeff Burton. And Jeff Gordon.
Tell you what, when you open this gate, every cow in the barn gets out, doesn't it?
I better believe it.
Finally gets back down in line, see what he can do with Bobby Labonte. Here comes Martin. He's getting pretty racy as well. And Sachs cannot hold Labonte. He goes by. Martin will go by. Check the Tabasco telemetry. We see Mark Martin that time when he turned 8,900 RPMs. That's about right. Down the backstretch, 9,000 RPMs.
Wow.
125 miles an hour.
Down just below 100 in the corners. Here's Mark taking the 8th position away from Bobby Labonte.
Watch how quickly that thing accelerates down the straightaway. Down to 73, 7,200 in the middle of the corner. And will build to 9,000 almost before he has to back off the throttle and hit the brakes again. And they do use brakes here at Bristol, a lot of brakes. All these cars have brake coaches all over trying to get some cool air for these brakes. And Rusty Wallace going by Trickle for 3rd spot.
Don't use the brakes here nearly as much as they do at Martinsville, but they do use them.
Yes, they do. They use the Martinsville brakes, and as I said, some air scoops to
Rusty is now closing in on Bill Elliott, who is running 2nd.
Not anymore.
No battle there as Rusty takes 2nd position. Now sets his sights on Bobby Hamilton, who continues to lead.
Hamilton has about a 240-second lead. And Hamilton's car, the Kodak Film Chevrolet that's leading the race early on in the race, was just terrible. But they made some serious changes on that car, and it's pretty doggone good right now.
Bobby Hamilton's best finish this year was at Rockingham, where he finished 9th. His best finish here at Bristol of 4th in this race in 1995. Everybody celebrating the 50th birthday of NASCAR. We have the Food City 500 live for you today here from Bristol Motor Speedway, and we'll have more in a moment. Take breaks, Neil. How do you know, though? Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, this pit strategy is really something today. This is really...
Get that track position.
The last time Earnhardt was 14th before the caution, came out 28th. 90 was 30th, started 4th. 23 was 15th, he started 34th.
Once again, you can see from the Pennzoil copter cam that this field is under reduced speed. We are under caution again here for another crash. And this one occurring in the Food City 500 on lap number 132.
Go down the corner. It's going to be Greg Sachs, and I'm trying to. There he is, right in front of Morgan Shepherd.
Might have gotten a little bit of help there as they jammed up going into that corner. He spins to the outside, then comes back down across the track. Very fortunate that no one else hit him. There he is going up, tags the wall, and
Kenny Wallace made a bonsai move to the bottom of the track to miss him. Let's ride along with Kenny.
Something you definitely don't want to see is a race car in front of your windshield.
Well, you can jump on your computer and dial up the website of NASCAR, www.nascar.com, and you can help celebrate NASCAR's 50th by voting for the driver that you think is going to carry the torch into the new millennium. The Future NASCAR Legend Award will be given, one of 7, during NASCAR's Night in Hollywood, a golden celebration. Folks, this is going to be fun, and we urge you to join us Saturday, May the 2nd at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for NASCAR's Night in Hollywood. We'll be there, of course, for the California 500, and we'll also rub elbows and hobnob with the Hollywood stars. It's going to be fun. Here's Bill Weber.
Updating a couple of guys that have struggled so far today. Bobby Labonte has been on pit road during this caution period. He got 4 tires and a major chassis adjustment. His car continues to be very ill handling. This time he said it was very, very loose. Dale Jarrett has also battled throughout the afternoon. He went to the back after that flat tire, worked his way back up, then got hooked up with Robert Presley, tore up the right front fender again. His problem also is the fact that he was flagged for too fast down pit road, so he had to start at the tail end of the longest line. His car doesn't look that good, but it's running pretty good. So if he can put those problems behind him, DJ's got a shot here. Here's Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, here on the back stretch, there is a couple of cars came into pit, and one of significance that didn't. That's Bobby Hamilton. On those tires, so they decided to stay out there. Now, Bill Elliott came in. They took out 2 rounds of wedge, and Elliott went from 3rd all the way back to 30.
So Bobby Hamilton will continue to be our leader here. That's Kevin LePage in the 91 car on the bottom of the track.
is 1 lap down. And 36th position.
Musgrave is 1 lap down. He got a lap back just a moment ago, and he's trying his best to get another one back. He gets by Sterling Marlin. He wants to get as much distance between he and Marlin as he can before Rusty Wallace.
That's Bobby Hamilton driving that car this year.
I said Sterling Marlin, didn't I? I knew I was going to do that. That's right, it is Bobby Hamilton. Man, these guys wouldn't change the many cars.
Hard to keep up with.
Yep.
He wants to get as far away from Bobby Hamilton as he can because he feels like Rusty Wallace does have the fastest car.
And he does have Benny because he's passing the leader right now.
And Jeff Burton goes blowing by.
Too, BP. Did you? Yeah. Actually, I was reading the graphic, but when we have that big NASCAR in Hollywood celebration, that's going to be at 7 o'clock on Saturday, May the 2nd, instead of 8 Eastern. Now, Rusty Wallace has passed Bobby Hamilton.
Also, Jeremy Mayfield's been able to get by Hamilton. Here comes Jeff Gordon. And Mark Martin. The top 6 cars.
Board with Mark Martin, running 6th. Just behind them, this group of cars, and Hut Stricklin and Jeff Bodine really get into each other. Hut's running 11th.
Having himself a good day here.
So far.
And Jeff Bodine wants that spot. And he's running. Hut Stricklin going a little bit higher in the corner than most other cars we're seeing. But it's working for him as long as the other cars are not able to drive underneath him.
It's a good run off the corner. That's what you say. Open that up down there in case they can jump up under him.
Once again, that's Morgan Shepherd in the 46 car. Morgan Shepherd in the 46 car. He's Bobby Hamilton in the 4 car.
It's the first time Morgan's ever driven that car. Mayfield just moved into second now. Jeff Burton is in third. Hamilton's gone back to fourth. But remember, Hamilton's tires are older than those that are running in front of him. Here's Morgan Shepherd in the 46 car. Moving around. Stricklin.
And he's going to open the door, it would appear. And then Randy LaJoy. Chad Little. There was some pretty heavy contact between Stricklin and Jeff Bodine here a few laps ago on the straightaway.
Yeah, as they come off. We saw the tire smoke, and 7th car, the right front, almost came off the ground when they made that contact.
Wow.
Apparently his right front rode up on the left rear when the rubber got together. Sheet metal won't necessarily cause you to do that. When that rubber gets together, those wheels, it'll cause them to come off the ground.
And Hut Stricklin got to lose another spot and Mark Martin's going by Jeff Gordon, taking over the 5th spot.
Mark Martin has worked on his car and got it very fast.
We have the drivers who are running first and second in the point standing.
Oh, and Hut Stricklin gets tagged in the corner and oh no!
Broadsided him.
We saw Kenny dodge the car just a moment ago of Greg Sachs. This time he could not dodge Hut Stricklin.
Wow, that was hard impact. And the 7th caution flag waves on lap 157.
Both of those guys were having good days, and both of them needed to have good days.
Well, Kenny has recorded 2 top 10 finishes in the 2 most recent races, but he will not get that today. Here's a replay.
Well, let's see. Brett Bodine in the white 11 makes a little bit of contact with Hut Stricklin, and Hut just can't get her back under control. Finally gets away from him, and around he goes. Other cars go by on the inside. Kenny Wallace sort of pinned up there, but he couldn't go down. He's hoping the 8 car would come down, but it didn't. It came right in front of him.
You're always concerned when you have a bang like that in the driver's car. Watch this when Kenny Wallace is on board.
That one's killed.
Yeah, it's all about the race car. He's right. It's killed.
So another caution, another crash here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Rusty Wallace leads back after these messages. Want to do Jerry soon?
Never could get it back into control, could he?
Wow, I hope Hut's okay. It sure was.
They appear to be talking to him.
Is Kenny out of his car? I guess he is.
Did Kenny get out of his car?
Okay, good.
Rudd's got a lot of stuff hanging off of his car.
Okay.
The 10 car's got a lot of sheet metal hanging off the right front of his car.
that Hutt standing there? Mike, put that on ISO. The 8 car.
Yeah, he's walking.
Favoring his right foot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bars over there. Where you
How fast was he going under impact?
60, 50, 60 miles.
No, probably faster than that, I
Think so.
don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Eight. Yeah. Cleanup continues down in turn number 1. The good news is that Hutt Strickland did get out of the car and he walked to the ambulance. He was favoring his right foot a little bit, but at least he was able to walk to the ambulance, and that is very, very good news, because this was a hard impact, not only with the wall, but then with Kenny Wallace. It all happened on lap 156.
Hutt comes off the corner, as Ned said just a moment ago, gets a little tap from Brett Bodine, the 11 car, right in the left rear, just enough. Hutt almost saved it. He's going straight, but then he back and forth, and all of a sudden it just totally away. He goes up the racetrack, backs it in the fence. Not a lot of damage there, but here comes Kenny Wallace. He cannot stop. He's got the brakes locked up. You see the tires smoking as Kenny Wallace is trying to stop, just could not stop.
From the Pennzoil copter cam overhead, there's the initial impact with the wall, and then the T-bone that he gets from Kenny Wallace. Now the onboard camera from Kenny Wallace.
You know, Jerry Punch did a track factor, I think it was in Atlanta, where he showed the chassis on this underneath the sheet metal. And we showed just how strong those cars are, and you can see just how strong they are, because the 81 car, Kenny Wallace, hits Hutt Strickland's car with a tremendous blow, but the chassis of the roll cage stays intact and does not bend a great deal.
There are a lot of roll bars that are mandatory by NASCAR, welded out into the door to protect the driver. Of course, that's an area that you don't want it to absorb the energy. You want it to hold up, and it did right there, where we saw the front of Wallace's car really crushed, but you know, that crush in front of it absorbed part of that energy.
Well, Benny mentioned Jerry Punch, and as you undoubtedly know by now, Jerry is not with us on the telecast today. Yesterday, his mother, Betty Jo, passed away. Jerry, our thoughts are with you, and I know that race fans everywhere join with us in expressing our sincerest condolences. God bless you. Under caution, let's take a break. From the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway, 162 of the 500 laps completed.
Okay.
The Pennzoil Copter Cam is showing you Bristol Motor Speedway in all of its glory. 130,000 seats, and every one of them filled for the Food City 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race here this afternoon. We're under a 7th caution of the afternoon. An accident down in turn number 1 between Hut Strickland and Kenny Wallace. We had some pit stops while we were away. Let's show you what happened.
Well, we almost had a bang if we see the cars coming in. Rusty Wallace, the leader. Jeremy Mayfield, the 12, is in second. 99, Jeff Burton is in third. See all the cars making their pit stops. Dale Jarrett and Bobby Labonte just now getting to their pit, as well as Derek Cope. And the gum out.
I think we're going to see Bobby Labonte. He's in the green car back there. I think we're going to see him only take on 2 tires. See, he's backing up there already. He's getting finished. He comes down pit road, and Jeff Burton coming out of his pits, and they make a little bit of contact.
Indeed, Bobby Labonte only took on 2 tires, but it, of course, has gained him a considerable amount of track position. Bill, meanwhile, has an update on the 88 of Dale Jarrett.
Well, we told you not to count Dale Jarrett out, and I just talked to Todd Parrott. Those were his exact words. A pit stop of 19.5 seconds, and Jarrett, who was at the tail end of this field not too many laps ago, is now threatening to climb into the top 10.
Back to the back pit, and Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bobby Hamilton came in the Kodak Chevrolet, guys. He had a top 5 car, and he said this car is awesome. He loves it. But, again, we got to talk about that disadvantage of pitting back here on the backstretch. He came in the top 5, went out running 20th.
Wow.
He was running 4th when he came in the pits, is now running 20th.
Kevin LePage is the blue car at the bottom of the track, trying to gain a lap back. Didn't get the job done, though. Ken Schrader's the leader of this race with Irvin running in 2nd spot, then Bill Elliott, Dick Trickle, and Ward Burton.
Neither of those 5 drivers pitted during this caution, Bob.
Car of Ricky Rudd. Here's Ernie Irvin taking the lead away from Ken Schrader. Rudd was slightly involved in that accident down there in turn 1 between Hut Strickland and Kenny Wallace. Here's a Napa Field summary. The points as of now. Bill Elliott goes to 3rd in the point standings if they were awarded now.
See, Ward Burton has lost some spots as Rusty Wallace, Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Gordon been able to get by. And Bill Elliott still struggling trying to get by Kevin LePage.
If you keep track of the point standings as we show them to you all afternoon, you will see very graphically how important track position is, because if you move up 1 position, you get a few more points. That may move you a spot higher in the overall standings.
See, Jeff Gordon was able to get by Jeremy Mayfield. We had the Penske cars running nose to tail. And now Gordon has placed his car between the 2.
Rookie points show Kenny Irwin still in the lead. However, he is 42nd today, and Jerry Nadeau is 43rd.
This is the first race that Ernie Irvin has led this year in the Skittles Pontiac. So, Ernie, way to go.
Last time he led a race was in Atlanta in the final event of 1997.
And that, of course, was with a different team. He was driving for Robert Yates then. He's had some good runs this year, including in the Daytona 500. Looks like they got that Skittles Pontiac working pretty well right now.
Ray Dunlap has more on Ernie.
Well, Bob, the last time the Skittles Pontiac came down pit road, their right front tire changer, Mike Kluka, burned his arm really bad. They've got it all bandaged up, and the crew chief, Ryan Pemberton, said, man, you better go to the hospital. He said, no way, we're leading.
Wow.
Tell you what, those guys down there are a tough breed.
Wow. A big gaggle of cars here. Burton, Jarrett, LePage, Hamilton, Jeff Bodine, Kevin LePage is a lap down to the 91. It's 33rd. Meanwhile, Ward Burton is where? He's 17th, looks like.
That is correct. Now he's back to 18th.
As Dale Jarrett goes by, here comes. I'm really impressed with a couple of cars. Bobby Hamilton's car early on struggled. They made some changes, and he is running so well. And it's Rusty Wallace.
He has closed the interval from his position of third. He's about to take second from Ken Schrader, does so, but look at that interval. He's chopped from a second and a half down to 0.8 of a second in 5 laps.
You can see that 16.9. That's a lap that he passed someone, and the other lap 16.4. That's in clean racetrack.
And of course, he has the fresher tires, which can make a big difference.
And we keep talking about 15-second laps here at Bristol, and we showed you there. And we see Jeremy Mayfield trying to get back by Jeff Gordon to take over fourth, and he almost made it.
Slipped a little bit, but still made it. And now Terry Labonte moving around Gordon.
Hendrick teammates running wheel to the track. Terry taking over the 5th spot, put Jeff back to 6th.
Again, we keep talking about 15-second laps. We showed you that the lap here is a little over 16 seconds. Well, when the tires are, when they take the qualifying package off and put the tires with a few laps on them, they will slow down about a second. That's the reason for the 16.5-second laps. As Jeff Burton goes by Dick Trickle, moves him in the 9th spot. Bill Elliott, the 8th place car, looks back at Burton.
Elliott goes up the hill, and that opens the door for Jeff Burton to take away 8th spot. And Rusty, meanwhile, is challenging Ernie Irvan for the lead, and Rusty will get the lead.
Now follows him back into the turn, but he knows that Rusty is faster right now.
That's the 11th lead change on the race. In 41 short track races since Richmond in the fall of '92, look at the impressive statistics that accompany Rusty Wallace. 36 top 10s. He has finished in the top 10 88% of the time. And his teammate Jeremy Mayfield continues to march forward. He takes 3rd place from Ken Schrader, and Schrader drops back to 5th as Terry Labonte is also able to get to the inside of him. 186 laps are completed on a beautiful blue sky sunny day in Bristol, Tennessee.
Something's up with Earnhardt. Kyle Petty and David Green just passed him.
Yes, sir. Kart promo. FedEx Championship, that is correct. Well, I always mention it verbally. I do so with the IRL, and I do so with Kart. According to the Big Blue Line last night, Adrian Fernandez won in Japan yesterday. Is that correct? ESPN presents the Food City 500 live from Bristol Motor Speedway, and it's being brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. For what you drive and the way you drive it, the choice is clear. By the nice people at Red Roof Inns, over 260 locations nationwide offering honest value every day. And by Everstart Batteries and Walmart. It all starts here. Next Sunday, it's the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach as the CART FedEx Championship Series resumes. It's at 4 o'clock Eastern Time next Sunday. Of course, the drivers have been in Japan this weekend. Adrian Fernandez taking the checkered flag there yesterday. They'll be back in the U.S. at Long Beach next Sunday here on ESPN. Caution is out once again.
And that's the reason you see the ambulance. There's no tunnel here. It's got to go across the racetrack to get outside. John Kernan, where are they going?
And inside the ambulance is Hut Strickland. You saw the hard crash that he had just a few minutes ago. They've checked him out in the infield care center, loaded him onto a stretcher, put him in the ambulance, taken him to a local hospital for further evaluation. Talked with his crew chief, Jim Long. He said Hut's okay overall, pretty sore. And Jim says he thinks he may have broken his nose, but Jim said that's all he knows about the extent of Hut's injuries. He says they just want to send him to the hospital as a precaution, just to make sure that he's not seriously injured.
And here once again is the incident that we're referring to. Hut Strickland and Kenny Wallace. We ride with Kenny.
The Hut had spun and slid up next to the outside banking, and Kenny Wallace had nowhere to go and came in and hit him right in the door.
So the ambulance on the way to the hospital with Hut Strickland as we are near the 200 lap mark here at Bristol.
He was just about to go a lap down. He was, Rusty was right on his bumper. He'd have got him in the next lap.
Wow, look at that. Looks like he's been through a... Hey, a Feeny Weenie fan.
Man, me too.
Man, if I need some Beanie Weenies and a Cody Cracker, I'd be in business.
A Cody Cracker.
It's better, Bob. I love it.
We'd be out of business.
Good. Okay.
Bristol is one of the...
A little warm up here, Bobby.
It's getting to be that way.
Yes. That's the axle seat.
Wow.
Earnhardt's back in.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. Bob Jenkins, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, John Kernan, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap calling the action for you here today. The field is being given the 1 to go signal. Dale Earnhardt made a quick pit stop.
There's a lot of debris stuck in the grill. I don't know where all that came from. Ray, whose sheet metal was that in the grill of Earnhardt?
Well, they're not exactly sure where it came from, Benny, but they know they need to fix it. So they pulled some of those pieces out, put a little tape bandage on there, and got Dale back out. Now, he had come in whenever they opened up pit road, so that was actually his second stop. Other drivers to come in include Michael Waltrip, Jimmy Spencer, Bill Elliott, and Ward Burton here on the backstretch.
Back to racing as Rusty Wallace has the advantage over Ernie Irvan.
Talking about Earnhardt, he was just about to go a lap down when this last caution came out, so that was a break for him.
See, Terry Labonte has also been able to get by Jeremy Mayfield. He now is the third-place car.
Ricky Rudd, their third in line, is 9 laps down in 36th. He's got some damage to the front end of that Tide machine.
Just amazing to me the difference in the Jeremy Mayfield car this year. The car is just so much better. Jeremy Mayfield is just driving with so much confidence.
It's a good race car. It builds that confidence, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's a good race driver, and I assume that the alliance with Rusty Wallace and the Penske organization has been a big plus for them.
Terry Labonte tries to take a look on the inside of Ernie Irvan. Can't quite make it. Weber, you got something to say on Jeremy Mayfield?
Just what Rusty told me. We talked about it a little bit on Friday, BP, that Jeremy Mayfield has never been a big fan of racing here at Bristol. But when they got here, Rusty said, you watch me. I'm going to show you where you're going to turn into the corner and where you're going to get on the gas. I'm going to teach you how to drive this place. Rusty did it. Jeremy watched, came back in and said, I love this place. And it really did give me confidence. This is one place where that new relationship is really expected to help that young driver.
Well, Mayfield is second in the point standings, and you'll notice we talked a while ago when you saw a field summary about how Bill Elliott was in third position and how every position out there on the track is important. You notice that time Bill Elliott had slipped to seventh in the point standings.
And look how much Ernie Irvan slipped when he got on the outside there a moment ago. As we look at the field summary, Ernie was running in second place. He is now all the way back to seventh place.
Ford with the advantage here on Chevrolet in the point standings, and they're the rookie points. Steve Park, of course, out of the rookie battle because of the injuries that he suffered at Atlanta. He was here this weekend, wasn't he?
I didn't see him.
He was here, I believe, on Saturday.
Yes, he was. I talked to him. He was in very good spirits.
Well, that's terrific news.
Yep. We talked with him on the phone, of course, last week at Darlington. Here's Johnny Benson, Dale Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, and Mike Skinner. And Jarrett has been in the pit area about as many times as anybody else. However, he's still up there in 12th spot.
I guarantee he's passed twice as many cars as any other car here. Because he started at the back twice, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He went to 42nd one time, and the other time got down that there were only 37 cars on the lead lap here, and take over the 11th position from Johnny Benson. So yeah, he's passed a lot of race cars.
Bobby Labonte tries to follow, was not quite close enough, can't do it.
Look, his highest has been 6th, his lowest all the way back at the back. Now in 12th spot.
On happy hour, during our happy hour show last night, we saw him changing the intake manifold on Dale Jarrett's car. I asked him this morning what they were trying to do, more power off the corner on the straightaway, and they said, yeah, they needed just a little bit more off the corner. The reason for that change, and we can see it must be working pretty well because he's pulled by 3 or 4 cars away from the 26 car.
If you were to consider only short track points in 1997, Dale Jarrett won the short track season last year. Jimmy Spencer heads up the racetrack, and here comes Brett Bodine to the inside. Oh, and Musgrave is sideways and stacks up some cars.
He and Kyle Petty touched just a little bit.
Oh, and Kyle's got a flat tire.
He must have cut that tire when he got it beside of him. Tough break. Kyle's running good.
Kyle banged the wall. No, caution is coming out.
A tough break for Kyle Petty because he hasn't been running well. He made some contact. And when you do that, Dale Jarrett did it earlier. And you see a little contact there. You snap that valve out of the right front.
Went that next corner and she wouldn't turn.
This is the 9th caution of the afternoon. Here's the replay.
Okay, we see Kyle down on the inside of the 16, and they make contact right there. Kyle backs off, lets him get straightened out, but then we'll watch him. Musgrave does get straightened out, go down into the corner, and Kyle's car just simply isn't going to turn. Cut that valve stem right up into the wall. I don't think he hit the wall that hard, though.
Let's see if we can see from this angle. There he goes up, and boom. The tire hit the wall, and that's the worst thing to hit the wall, because that can do a lot of damage to the suspension. Here they come, Bill Weber.
They tiptoe down pit road. Wallace leading the way. Terry Labonte right behind him. Gordon will dive in behind the 2-car. Rusty pulls up a little bit further this time to give Gordon a little bit more room. Right side tires and fuel for everyone. No chassis adjustment for Wallace. Gordon gets half a round of wedge in the right side. Around to the left side on all these cars, including Jeremy Mayfield. Jack's underneath. Car goes up. Tightening the left sides on Rusty's car. He's down and away. Terry Labonte will follow him. Took a long time on the left side of Jeff Gordon. Then it's Mark Martin, followed by Mayfield, Schrader, and another good stop for Dale Jarrett. Dick Trickle's on the backstretch. Here's Ray.
Well, he sure is, Bill. Last fall, Dick Trickle finished third here, and they would repeat that. He's got a good run going today. 4 tires, they're down and away. And right behind him, Bobby Hamilton also in. They get in and out in a hurry.
Comes out, so does Chad Little, as they catch up to the end of the cars that pitted here on the front stretch. Well, 218 laps are in the books here at Bristol under our 9th caution of the afternoon, when Kyle Petty hit the wall in turn 1.
Well, there's going to be some sunburned people down there.
Yep.
They haven't seen this much sun since last July around here. How's it, Lynn? Hey, John.
Hey, John. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ronnie. I wouldn't get this mic too close to you. One to go.
Sterling's back in the race, huh? What? No water?
What push?
Oops.
Get ready now. Go, 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 to the right, to the right.
Back under green at Bristol. 1 lap of green completed. Bill Elliott, Jimmy Spencer in second, then Rick Mast, Dale Earnhardt, and Rusty Wallace. Now Rusty takes the position away from Dale.
And those first 4 cars, including Earnhardt, did not hit during this caution.
Terry Labonte goes by Dale Earnhardt.
The Walker went very high down in turns 1 and 2, lost about 2 or 3 positions.
Page is the car at the front of the line. However, he is back on the lead lap now. tail end of it. Back in the pack, meanwhile, Ernie Irvan and Johnny Benson rub wheel to wheel.
Ernie Irvan had the lead just a few laps going to Skittles Pontiac. Meanwhile, tell you what, he's hanging pretty tough on the outside.
That's back in 20th position. Ernie Irvan, however, has had a slide down the point standings since Daytona. He was 6th at the Daytona 500 and comes into this event in 19th.
Shepard was seeing the green car on the outside. He's trying to pass Andretti on the outside. He's still trying to pass Andretti on the outside. Last lap speeds.
Looks like Terry was the best among the top 5.
Yep. Just barely over Rusty Wallace.
Yep. Come up on Kevin LePage. LePage, we've seen him a lot today. He's running good. He's a lap down, back in 32nd position. Still 30 cars on the lead lap.
By the way, Sterling Marlin is back in the race. We have failed to mention that. Sterling was in the pits for about 78 laps, but now is back out there.
Changed the gear in that Coors Light Chevrolet.
Jeff Gordon running 4th. Jimmy Spencer back to 5th.
And Rusty Wallace going for the lead. It's Bill Elliott and Schwartzby that take the lead. Terry Labonte gets by as well. Did anyone say McDonald's?
While Rusty is in the lead, we have an update from John Kernan on his brother Kenny involved in that hard crash with Hut Strickland.
Bob Kenny remains in the infield care center. I talked to one of his team members, and they said basically he is all right. He had the breath knocked out of him, and they had the position in the care center. We'd just like for Kenny to stay there for a few more minutes just to relax, catch his breath, take it easy. But the good news, Kenny is okay. Let's go to the back pits. Ray Dunlap on Kyle Petty.
Well, John, they continue to work on the Hot Wheels car, and you notice that they're working on the right front here, and the reason is there is no brake rotor on there. When Kyle made contact, the rotor busted all to pieces, so they've got to replace the entire front section there as they're about to put it on right now. You see the new rotor going on the race car.
Kyle also one of those who has tasted the concrete here at Bristol.
Had a tire to go down. Shot him right up in the wall.
Jimmy Spencer and Jeremy Mayfield are slugging it out
for 6th spot. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
We had 7 different leaders today. Rusty, Terry, Labonte, Hamilton, Elliott, Irvan, Little, and Schrader. And Labonte is trying to get the lead from Rusty Wallace. We are coming up on the halfway point in 13 more laps.
$10,000 up for grabs from Gatorade.
And there goes Labonte. Goes right by Wallace. Will put the rooster in the front. Talking about the Kellogg's corn cake. That one just marvels it, and I marvel how well Rusty Wallace is able to keep his car on the very bottom of the racetrack. You see this here on the bottom of the racetrack.
He's in 9th place, too, after all he's been through today. To the inside of Jimmy Spencer in 1.
He's not going to be in that spot long as he goes by Spencer. Robert Preston getting on the Jasper engine board.
Running in 10th place now. Here's the First Plus Financial field summary showing the points as of now. And Elliott was in 3rd earlier and most recently in 7th. Now he's up to 5th. We're just showing you how the points change during the race and how important every position is.
Rusty wants the Gatorade money again. Here he goes, down on the inside of Terry Labonte.
You're probably right. Someone told Rusty, hey, Rusty, they paid $10,000 in 10 laps. Don't you? You can't get back up there and get that money. So
And I mentioned earlier about how much Rusty can win here today if he does come out first. He'll win the purse, of course. He'll win a couple of bonuses also from the 76 Racing Challenge and the Winston Leader bonus. He'll come out of here with somewhere around $250,000.
Wow. Not bad for a short track, is it?
Not at all.
We always talk about what the advantage that new tires have over the older tires. We'll show you. Rusty Wallace has changed tires. Bill Elliott has not. Rusty Wallace went 17.063. Elliott 17.408. A difference of a third, a little more than a third of a second.
And what does that do over the course of 5 laps? Take, for instance, laps 238, 242.
And you can see that Rusty Wallace went from 1.6 seconds to 2.8 seconds in front of Bill Elliott. And look at Rusty, 16.83 straight left. Now, folks, that's what you're looking for. That's what a great chassis will do. That consistent, every lap the same.
This completes lap 247. We're 3 away from the halfway point. There's the 94 car of Bill Elliott, who on those older tires has slipped back to 5th position. He's about 3.5 seconds behind Rusty, who leads by about 0.4 of a second over Terry Labonte. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Sure did.
Sure did. Good.
Oh, Earnhardt is so loose. He came off the corner, and he just about spun out.
He's about to get lapped in too.
Oh my gosh.
They got a oiling problem back there then. A greasing problem. Rusty got the halfway money.
Yep. On the edge. Man, oh man.
Save that.
Good boys and Mark. The beautifully manicured Bristol Motor Speedway reminding us that 1998 is the 50th anniversary for the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing. On their website, www.nascar.com, you can vote for the driver you think will carry the torch for NASCAR into the new millennium. It will be one of 7 awards given during NASCAR's night in Hollywood, May the 2nd, Saturday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. It's going to be a grand gala celebration, and we urge you to be with us on Saturday night, May the 2nd, as we spend the evening with the celebrities in Hollywood.
And we're spending today with 130,000 of our closest friends. Hey, folks, welcome to Bristol, and look at this half-mile speedway in Bristol, Tennessee.
It was a gorgeous sight.
It really is. You know, we've been coming here for many years, and I think that one of the things that I first think of when I think of Bristol is the enthusiasm that the fans always come here with.
And the community. We were at a function Friday night, and it's amazing how the community loves this facility.
Over $100,000 was raised for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Bristol and Girls Inc. And then Bruton Smith, the owner of this racetrack, matched that with another $100,000. All right, there's Rusty Wallace, the leader, and right behind him is Terry Labonte running in 2nd spot.
Started in 3rd. Our 3rd place runner is now Jeff Gordon. And he started in second place.
Not too far behind.
Mark Martin's been able to work on his car, and he's got his car a lot better than when the race started. Fourth place car.
And then the 12 car of Jeremy Mayfield is the next car in line. He's running in 6th place, about 2.9 seconds behind the leader. Started 10th.
33, Schrader's in 6th, and Dale Jarrett is in the 7th spot. Right goes Schrader. Started 14th spot. Good run for Kenny Schrader. See DJ, and as I said, we all stated he's passed more cars than anybody today. How is that? He started 7th. Well, he's gone to the back. Had a flat tire right off the bat. Bill Elliott is in next place. Notice he's still laps down in the Kodiak car. And Bill Elliott and Robert Presley batting them.
Yeah, Bill's been out there a while on those tires in the McDonald's Ford. Robert Presley, as we said earlier, been running good all day, having a great run here in 9th position, trying to take over 8th from Elliott. There's Bobby Labonte right behind him in the Interstate Batteries Pontiac as Robert Presley gets the position on Elliott. And Bobby Labonte's been battling a handling problem, but back in the top 10 now, about to take over the 9th position from Bill Elliott.
Elliott led 17 laps of this race on 2 different occasions, but now has to the 10th spot. Rusty, of course, has led the most laps so far, 141.
And Brandon Ajoy giving a good ride with his Budweiser Chevrolet, but as we watch him, Michael Waltrip gets by, takes that spot away, put Michael in 11th, and Brandon Ajoy back in 12th.
Both those drivers needed good runs and are having good runs. Michael Waltrip in a backup car who crashed here in practice on Friday. He had to go to a backup car, but looks like that Citgo Ford doing okay for him. And Martin now about to take over 3rd from Jeff Gordon.
And now the sun is ready to come out. This is the time for the crews become concerned about their car. Is the chassis going to be good enough? Because as the sun starts coming down, gets directly overhead, this racetrack is going to be as slick as it has been for a long, long time. This is probably the warmest spring race we've had in a long time. Now, it's warmer in August, but when the sun goes down in August, the racetrack gets some of that adhesion back. Today, that sun will take all the adhesion away.
Once again, we're watching the Tabasco Hot Zone telemetry.
124 mile per hour maximum. It goes down to 97 mile per hour in the corners. He accelerates from up to 9,000, almost 9,100 RPMs.
Remember, those numbers will jump on board the 35 car of Todd Bodine, and will compare.
As he goes down the straightaway, just up to 109 miles per hour. So he was 15 miles per hour slower down the straightaway than Mark Martin.
He has a badly damaged front end, as you can see. A tangle earlier with Ted Musgrave resulted in the body damage. Who was that? Rick Mast that just
yes.
By?
As brother Brett Bodine goes by.
Bobby Hamilton and Jimmy Spencer are deciding who should have the 18th spot.
And Bobby Hamilton takes it.
And we see the Tabasco car right in front of these two.
We know the front end of Todd Bodine's car is damaged. As we look out the back, we see that the rear end is damaged. Bobby Hamilton has led twice during this race for a total of 35 laps.
Todd Bodine is not having a whole lot of fun right now because driving a race car is fun when you're competing and racing with someone. Just out there making laps on a racetrack that's as tough as Bristol, he's having a hard time of it.
I don't think we mentioned it, but Rusty Wallace did win the halfway money, $10,000.
The Gatorade money?
Yep.
goes to Rusty.
Dale Earnhardt is struggling here this afternoon. He lost a lap there. Now he is 4 laps down in 33rd.
Well, he made a pit stop just a few moments ago and made some kind of change in the car. Maybe Ray Dunlap can tell us what they did.
Well, I sure can, Benny. You know, when we listen to the radios all the time, we hear the drivers saying, boy, it's a little tight or it's a little bit loose. Well, Earnhardt kept saying loose, loose, loose. But he wasn't talking about the race car. He was talking about the right rear tire. It actually was about to come off, so they had to pit under green. And you know how devastating that can be here at Bristol.
Man. Sure can.
There is Mike Skinner being lapped by Rusty Wallace.
Mike Skinner qualified in 4th spot, but now he's back where, Ned? 26?
26 spot. There are now 25 cars on the lead lap, which is a lot after 280 laps.
On board with Mike Skinner, as we see Rusty about to put a lap on David Green, who is running in 25th spot.
And he does do that. Terry Labonte continuing the pace. Here comes Mark Martin. Getting closer and closer, just a car length behind Terry Labonte now. This is a roof camera on top of the Valvoline Ford. As we see Todd Bodine up high.
So the top 5 are Ford, Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Ford. Chevy has won the last 4 spring races here, and Ford has won the last 4 of 5 races at night in the fall here at Bristol. Wallace, Labonte, Martin, Gordon, and Mayfield, your top 5 at the end of 283 laps. How's Walter doing? 29.
Yeah, he won a lap down here a little while ago. Morgan about to go a lap down.
He's fought the fight pretty good.
Yep, he sure has.
But as this racetrack starts getting slick, he starts sliding.
DJ's caught Mayfield.
He really is running well.
Yeah, he's running good.
He's keeping this car hanging on the bottom pretty good, too.
He's been running high most all day.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, no, what happened?
He's going to take the pace.
Coverage of the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway here in Tennessee. Rusty Wallace continues to lead over Terry Labonte and Mark Martin.
See, Morgan Shepherd in the first Union Chevrolet has gone a lap down to Rusty Wallace, and Terry Labonte, Mark Martin is That's the second, third place car. We see Jeff Gordon is in fourth.
Morgan held on for quite a while through 294 laps, but has gone a lap down in 24th. 23 cars on the lead lap. Dick Trickle is running in 23rd. Ray Dunlap has a report on the 8 car of Hut Strickland.
Well, Bob, they've just refired the engine on the 8 car. Now, we already know that Hut Strickland left in the ambulance, so the big question is, what are they going to do with this car? Well, they've got a guy that's standing by who's also out of the race, and his name is Kenny Irwin. Kenny says, boy, I want to get in there and get every lap I can on this racetrack because I need to learn something. Well, the 8 car also needs to get out there because Hut Strickland has had 3 finishes worse than 29th this year, and they have not accumulated very many points, so every point is so important.
Wow, that's kind of an unusual situation, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Kenny, of course, drives a Ford, and that's the Chevrolet of Hut Strickland. But in cases like this, you know, the manufacturers normally give their drivers permission to go ahead and help out a fellow man.
Certainly, it's going to benefit both because Kenny will be able to get some experience on this track, which will help in the future, and Hut may be able to move the car up and get some points.
Sure.
Dick Trickle is trying so hard. You know, the unbelievable thing is the 8 car is going to run after the blow that it took.
That's for sure.
Trickle is trying his best to keep that Heilig Myers Ford in the lead lap.
He's done it for about 10 laps, stayed out in front of Rusty. Oh, Rusty's got a run coming there, but he can't do it.
Jerry Nagy takes a look at these guys and said, let me follow Rusty Wallace and just see how do you get around this racetrack.
Well, Dick Trickle is also in this race today with a lot on his mind because this past week, his nephew Chris Trickle passed away from injury suffered during a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada last year. Of course, we got to know Chris Trickle very well from Winter Heat out in Tucson, Arizona, where he performed so well. Certainly our thoughts are with Dick Trickle and the entire Trickle family upon the death of Chris. Certainly a budding young race driver whose life was taken from us way too soon.
Way too soon. He really did have some ability. There's no doubt about that. See, Rusty's been able to get by Trickle. Now here goes Labonte.
But the whole crowd is caught up. You see there's not only Labonte, the 6 car of Mark Martin, Gordon, Mayfield, and Jarrett all moved right in there.
The 88 has been one of the faster cars on the racetrack for several laps. He came in second that lap that we timed. The fastest was Bobby Labonte. But Jarrett is in 6th position now after many problems.
The reason for that is Labonte's a clean racetrack. The rest of these guys are all fighting this traffic, trying to get by Dick Trickle. That's one reason that they're not showing the speed that they have.
Bill Weber has more on Dale Jarrett's run.
Not only passing those cars on the track, but his last pit stop was 17.38 seconds. And the thing TJ has really had a disadvantage with is because he's been further back in the field, say 12th or 15th, he gets to pit road that much later. Next time they all pit, if it's under caution or green, if they've been together, he could pick up a number of spots if they have another lightning quick stop like their last one. We'll wait and see. It has been a long battle, but we're going to see if they get rewarded at the end of the day.
TJ underneath Jeremy Mayfield.
Goes to 5th.
And there's Dale Earnhardt coming up behind him. You said that Earnhardt made a pit stop, made an adjustment, Benny, and that car is really running now. The Goodrich Chevrolet. Of course, he's got much fresher tires, but apparently that adjustment they made is helping him.
Dale Jarrett won the race here last fall during the evening.
Well, Brandon DeGeorge just a moment ago there, he is in the Budweiser Chevy. He's going to lap down to the lead. The next in line is Ernie Irvin. Remember how he led the race here just a few laps ago.
Yep. He led 16.
And Rusty Wallace is right on his bumper right now. Well, actually, Ernie got around Jeff Bodine, and now Bodine has gone a lap down. And you can see Ernie in the 36 car right in front of the leader.
You can check it out as you check our First Plus Financial Field Summary. Check the points as of now.
Jeff Gordon down to Elliott 6th this time. Dale Earnhardt has dropped his 7th. Or 8th.
Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace of Miller Lite Ford trying his best to get around Ernie.
Ernie trying to hang on that lead lap. He's running in 20th position.
Rusty continuing to add to Ford's domination of laps led this year. Going into this event, Ford had led 70% of the laps, and Rusty is the only driver to have completed all laps so far this season. Jeremy Mayfield next best, having not completed just one lap.
There's where the rookies are running. You saw most of the rookies have had trouble today. I guess Kevin LeFave's the only rookie that hasn't really had any trouble. He's a couple of laps down.
In 32nd position. Ernie still hanging on out in front of Rusty Wallace. And the field is tightened up once again.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are nose to tail.
Been running around 112 miles per hour. Now they're down to 109.5 miles per hour as they're all bunched up behind the Skittles Pontiac.
We have 183 laps to go. We're at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. It's the Food City 500. They're the top 10. Back in a moment. Whoa, Mark just lost.
Well, he
he
very
got
smart
bottled up
there. Got
behind
bottled
mast.
up there, and he said, "I don't want to fight this situation."
Yes, sir.
Here's DJ.
Let's see, that's in 3 weeks, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
When did they all stop on 195? 217.
A little over 100.
100 laps.
Yep. Thank you, Chevy.
Here, Bob.
Thank you, sir. Not you. I wouldn't call you sir, Mikey.
Okay.
ESPN Speed World coverage next after today's race will be in Martinsville, Virginia on Friday, April 17th. Mudpole qualifying at 3 o'clock on the Deuce. Saturday, a NASCAR Featherlight Modified Tour event at 200 at 2 o'clock on the Deuce. Happy hour at 5:30. And then on Sunday, NASCAR today is at 12:30, and at 1 o'clock we'll have the Goodies Headache Powder 500. That's April the 19th here on ESPN. Dale Jarrett continues to move up. He's going to take second spot from Terry Labonte. Impressive drive by Jarrett.
Really is. Really is.
Another car on the move is the 18, as Bobby Labonte has come up to 6th and is challenging Jeff.
And Bobby has really struggled in the early part of this race, but whatever they did on the last pit stop, they made a major adjustment on it, and it has put that Pontiac on the go.
Bill Weber has more on Jeff Gordon, who's currently 5th.
And he's been dropping back a little bit, and that handle has gone away on that race car. He's loose. So Jeff Gordon's car now starting to struggle in the heat of the afternoon, falling back to the 5th position with a loose handling condition.
And the medical report on Kenny Wallace, everything has checked out fine. Cut Strickland, the other driver involved in that crash, has been taken to a local hospital for observation. Now they have Jeff Green, who did not qualify for this race, standing by down there to possibly get in the 81 car if they get it ready to go back on the track. Now Jeremy Mayfield back to 7th, and John Kernan has the report.
Bob, Jeremy has slipped and lost several positions over the last 30 or 40 laps. Radioed in, he told his crew that the car has a push in the middle of the turn. So on their next pit stop, which we should see in about 25 to 30 laps, we'll see them take a wedge out of the car to try and loosen it up a little bit.
Here's Randy LaJoie running right behind Mayfield. Randy is a lap down in 20th position. Rusty Wallace has clinched the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps this afternoon. So he adds more to his lead in the NASCAR Winston Cup points battle. Here's our Bud race recap. Rusty leading 212 of the first 335 laps. We'd have 15 lead changes and 9 caution periods for 51 laps. And the average just over 86 miles an hour. Here are the drivers who have led at least 1 lap. And it's also going to include Chad Little and Ken Schrader. In terms of the attrition, well, we have Cut Strickland and Kenny Wallace off the track. Their cars may be coming back in. The only driver listed as out of the race, the 28 car of Kenny Irwin.
John Andretti about to make a pit stop in the STP Pontiac.
Jarrett's running about 1 3/4 seconds behind Rusty Wallace.
He cut down to about 6/10 of a second, and he got behind the lap cars of Jimmy Spencer. Now Brett Bodine just moved around him, and that cost him about a second out on the lap, out on the racetrack.
5 of Terry Labonte running 3rd. Darrell Waltrip again is driving the number 1 car and will be doing so for the next 2 or 3 months.
And the Mike Skinner car is spun up in the corner, and caution flag waves.
Well, we had green flag pit stops that perhaps were not too far away, and this will give him the opportunity to come in during caution.
Concern is that Dale Jarrett hurt his car when he ran in the back of Mike Skinner's car. That's the concern that we have as we see John Andretti racing Rusty Wallace back to get in the lead. Skinner was very slow going in the 3rd corner, and Jarrett goes, and we see the damage to the rear of Skinner's car. Caution flag that a lot of folks were glad to see.
Yep, it was came at a much needed time.
Mike Skinner came in the pits, but the crew said, hey, the pit will not open. Go ahead, go back out on the track, and then come back in a little bit later.
Here's the replay.
The 31 car, he might have been slowing to come in the pits. And there we see Jarrett just clipping in the rear, and he had some damage to the right front of his car. Now, Ned, looks like he has the same amount of damage to the left front.
Yeah, well, they come down pit road now. They'll get to check it out.
Here's the onboard.
Now, slows down. Looks like I think he's going in the pits.
Man. Down to Bill Weber.
Half a pound out of the right rear for Rusty Wallace. Waiting on the left rear. The 88 is away. He's going to be the first one out. Then Rusty, then Terry Labonte, Gordon, the 18, and Mayfield, followed by Mark Martin on the front stretch. Burton still sits here. Then Benson pulls away.
Robert Presley is the top runner on the backstretch, driving the Jasper engines number 77. And let me tell you what, guys, they're having a good run, running 12th, but they're just glad to be here. The last 5 races, the 77 team has not even made the race here, with guys like driving like Bobby Hilton and Morgan Schiffer, and they are down and away to John Kernan.
Mark Martin pitted, took on 4 tires, made a track bar adjustment. The car has been just a little bit tight. Jeremy Mayfield had a really fast pit stop, about 17.8 seconds. They got 4 tires and made that wedge adjustment in the left rear. Remember, his car had developed a push in the middle of the turns.
What happens to Jeff Gordon here during all of this?
The incident happens in front of him, and Mark Martin slows down. Jeff Gordon almost runs up on him. We'll see. Right there, boom. And then Bobby Labonte comes down on the inside of Jeff Gordon. And you see Skinner spinning back there.
Yep. Like a piece of debris that someone's got to pick up and get off the racetrack.
So 10 times the caution has waved so far here at Bristol today. There's a little bit of, what is that?
Beats me.
I don't know.
It's a piece of debris is what it is.
Piece of a race car.
Yeah. Anyway, caution is out once again, and we will take another break. 345 laps completed. Back with more of the Food City 500 in a moment.
Neil, if you want to run that track back, they have the jet dryer on the racetrack. That's the vent can.
Vent. It did, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 450.
Thank you. They're going to blow the track, huh? Mikey. I thought we did that. Oh, okay.
Ned, want cold water?
Yeah, I'd take one of those. Thank you.
Here, Lynn. Bob.
I didn't drink much of my other one, but I will take a cold one.
Yeah, it's not real cold, but it's still wet.
I think Skinner was trying to come in the pits.
Yeah.
I mean, Dale Jarrett went that corner, looked like he was running 400 miles an hour faster.
It sure did.
And he just couldn't or didn't react quick enough.
Talk about closing rate.
Woof. Yeah.
.153. They should be able to go the rest of the way from here.
Last pit stop?
As far as fuel is concerned, I would think. They haven't run that far today on because of caution.
Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, Todd told DJ no. And
Todd says they can't.
Yeah, and the 2 bunch says no also. But,
oh, really? Okay.
But I'll tell you, if you go by their earlier math, they probably could. DJ stop was 16.79 seconds.
Yeah, I had him.
Track Facts brought to you by Quaker State Motor Oil. For what you drive and the way you drive it, the choice is clear.
Bristol is one of the most demanding stops for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. It's tough on man and machine. And almost every race at Bristol will see at least one car burn up the rear end gear. Well, we have a way to try and help prevent that. Here is the rear end axle assembly. This area is filled with grease, and of course the gear fits right on here. That's the race configuration. But because of Bristol's high speed and its high banks, when the car turns left, all the centrifugal force sends the grease up through this hollow tube. Here's how we're going to stop that. Benny has an inner axle seal. It's going to sit right here in the neck of this hollow tube. We're going to take the axle, slide it through the tube. It will actually slide through the seal, and it sits here in the tube. So when the car turns left and the grease tries to go right, the seal holds it in place, and that will save your rear end gear.
And we've already seen rear end gear problems here today with Sterling Marlin. Look at that incredible crowd that's gathered here this afternoon on this beautiful day. 130,000 strong. Pit stop summary: Rusty Wallace was the leader before. Now he's second. Dale Jarrett and Rusty swap places. Terry remains third. Martin from 4th to 7th. Bobby Labonte picks up 1 spot.
So what happened to Jeff Gordon?
Well, we'll check on
He's
that.
in 4th.
Yeah. Okay. They clean up the track, and we will be back in just a moment with more of the Food City 500. Dale Jarrett, current leader here at this point. What?
I'm sorry, guys. I guess Gordon was out of the top 5, wasn't he?
Yeah, before, yeah.
I mean, when he came in the pits, he was out of the top 5.
Correct.
So he picked up a spot. Couple spots.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
FYI, Kenny Irwin is not going to be in the 8 car because he's climbed into the 7 car. Jeff Bodine kind of overcome with fumes.
Yep. Chevy told us. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that 50th anniversary.
Oh, that one.
The look back.
Tell you what, DJ has a really good car.
If that didn't mess it up there.
Mm-hmm. ESPN salutes the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing as we look back on 50 years of racing and the fastest growing sport in the nation. NASCAR's 50th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Always the real thing. Always Coca-Cola.
I knew that.
I thought you did. ESPN salutes the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing as we look back on 50 years of racing and the fastest growing sport in the nation. NASCAR's 50th anniversary celebration is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Always the real thing. Always Coca-Cola. In the 1990s, the close racing and fast action at Bristol have drawn hundreds of thousands of fans to the mountains of eastern Tennessee. But like NASCAR itself, the Speed Palace had its humble beginnings. In 1961, Larry Carrier, Carl Moore, and R.G. Pope opened the Bristol Motor Speedway on the site of an old dairy farm. A capacity crowd of 18,000 saw Fred Lorenzen win the first Bristol pole and Jack Smith win the first race. The track remained relatively unchanged through the late 70s, but with more TV coverage in the 80s, the sport gained more fans and Bristol needed more seats. 26,000 seats in the early 80s, doubled to nearly 55,000 by 1990. And by the time Bruton Smith bought the track in 1996, capacity was 71,000. Perhaps Bristol, more than any other track, best exemplifies the explosion of NASCAR racing across the U.S. Some 135,000 are here now to see NASCAR racing in its 50th season.
And they are loving every minute of it here today. We have bright sunshine, beautiful weather, and once again they're being treated to some great action at Bristol.
Saw a fellow in the elevator of the motel this morning. He said this was his first live race. He didn't sleep a wink last night.
This shot courtesy of the Pennzoil copter cam flying overhead. When you mentioned elevator, I thought sure you were going to mention the fact that the elevator in which we ride to our broadcast booth, Ned, has been named the Benny Parsons Tower. Isn't it a privilege to ride in that thing?
Yes, it is. And I tell you, he has arrived. Well, of course, we knew that he was already up there high, but just put him a little higher.
Rusty Wallace currently second. Here's Bill Weber.
And just the story on tires and fuel down here. Some guys are concerned that we could see a lot of cautions here in the closing laps. Rusty Wallace was running low on tires, so they went and got some from his brother's team. A set of tires belonging to Kenny Wallace has been added to the supply the 2 has, so they think they'll have enough. These, of course, are all sticker tires. All about fuel, well, with less than 150 laps to go, it appears most guys will be able to go to the finish. In fact, I checked with the 88 team and the 2 team, and both crew chiefs say yes, they can reach the finish without having to stop again.
In the 90s here at Bristol, Rusty Wallace has an incredible performance record. 4 wins, 4 second place finishes, and only 3 times has he finished worse than 15th. We're getting set for the restart. We do have a relief driver now. Kenny Irwin is not getting in the 8 car. Instead, he is getting in the number 7 car. Jeff Bodine has abandoned it because he is ill.
Michael Waltrip also made a second pit stop because he isn't feeling well, so they adjusted, probably poured some water on him, trying to get him where he could run the next 150 laps.
Michael's left on the lead lap in position.
Up front, we have Dale Jarrett leading the race, but look at Rusty. Damage now to the front end of Dale Jarrett's car after he clipped Mike Skinner. Terry Labonte now moving up on Rusty. It's a 3-car battle for the lead. Labonte going inside of Rusty and taking second place. How about Labonte?
Rusty had to slow down. He ran up on Jarrett, had to back off, and Labonte had the momentum. Of course, he's had a fast car all day, too. He moves right up there.
Right along with Bill Elliott, McDonald's Ford. Bill is in 25th spot, a couple of laps down.
I think he made a green flag pit stop not long before that caution came out, which really hurt him. John Andretti, we mentioned he made a green flag pit stop, so those that had made those really got hurt with this caution.
In that 88 car here at Bristol, Dale Jarrett's record also impressive. A win, 2 fourths, and a 6th. And we mentioned earlier that he was the short track king of 1997. He accumulated more points than any other drivers on short tracks, and short tracks are defined as those smaller than a mile in length.
Despite his performance at Martinsville, which has not been good for a couple of years.
That's where we'll go next, 3 weeks' time.
And Labonte, Terry Labonte takes a look on the inside, and he takes a lead. Wow. Now Rusty Wallace is going to try to do the same thing. DJ's not able to keep his car on the bottom of the racetrack like he was before the last pit stop.
Don't know if his car is just better on long runs, Benny, or if maybe a little bit of damage was done when he hit Mike Skinner. Might have knocked the toe in out a little bit or something, don't know, but his car seems to go better after long runs.
Jeff Gordon continues to run in 4th spot. Bobby Labonte is in 5th. Jeff Gordon also strong on short tracks. Now Rusty closes in on Jarrett again.
We're watching this from Radnor to Joyce, Budweiser Chevrolet. Randy's in 16th. He's the first car, 1 lap down. Set the telemetry, and The Tabasco Hot Zone. See the miles per hour and the RPMs. About 9,200 RPMs for LaJoie.
122 miles an hour. You got it, too. We'll do it again.
We see DJ still going up in the middle of the corner, and Rusty Wallace is staying right on the bottom side. But now LaJoie will have to give way to Jeff Gordon, the DuPont car, on the inside.
Almost through there. Good job.
Meanwhile, Terry Labonte has built up almost a second lead on Jarrett and Rusty. Terry is a two-time winner of this race here at Bristol. He won in '84 and in '95. I'm sorry, that's the second race of the year, the night race. He has never won the spring race here. We all remember him sliding across the finish line and banging the wall in one of these victories.
And now, Ned, as they start to put a few laps on those tires, DJ's car seems to be doing a little bit better against Rusty.
Jeremy Mayfield has been fighting back. He's up to 6th. Mark Martin right behind him in 7th.
And we got trouble off turn 2.
Morgan Shepherd does a 360 and keeps going. The caution comes out.
The 50 car coming around hard to try to get a lap back. His teammates leading the race, but he's not going to be able to get there in time.
Nope. Joy did not quite make it. Let's take a look at it again and see what happened there off corner 2.
It's Morgan Shepherd. There he is coming off the corner. Chad Little and Morgan Shepherd, just a little contact. And Morgan goes around once, goes around again, gets it started in the right direction, puts it in gear, and drives away. Did not hit a thing.
How about that?
Let's see what Mike Skinner was able to see.
So this is the 11th caution of the afternoon. It comes on the 372nd lap. Under reduced speed once again with Terry Labonte now showing the way over Jarrett, Wallace, Gordon, and Bobby Labonte.
15 cars in the lead lap.
Was Musgrave 2 laps down at one time? I think he was. Now he's in 10th place.
I don't know.
I know. I'm pretty sure he was 2 laps down at one time. Yes, sir. That's correct. No, it's 1.
Okay. All right.
Didn't he pass Bobby Hamilton when Hamilton was leading the race to get that lap back?
Yeah, and I thought he passed somebody else one time too. I don't know. He might not. He might have only been 1 lap down. Not sure, but.
Okay.
What was that again, Neil? I'm sorry. Okay.
You talking about third? You about Terry Labonte?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. ESPN Speed World live today at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500, being brought to you by Old Milwaukee, America's best tasting beer. By the more than 1,900 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Daytona USA, the ultimate motorsports attraction. Coming up right after the conclusion of our race, you'll be able to see Shop Talk, and the special guest this afternoon is Rusty Wallace, the current points leader in Winston Cup racing and the driver who is currently 3rd here at Bristol.
tires, part of the 130-some thousand people here this afternoon.
The only car that I saw made a pit stop during this caution that was on the lead lap and pitting on the front was Ken Schrader. Some others pitted, I guess, on the backstretch.
Yeah, Robert Presley pitted, the Michael Waltrip car, and Bobby Hamilton all pitted. All these cars on the lead lap.
John Kernan.
I talked to Andy Petrie, the car owner for Kenny Schrader, and asked him why they opted to go ahead and come in. He said that last set of tires, that the car had gotten very, very loose off the corners. So they decided to just come on in, change tires, make an adjustment, and send him back out. And he didn't really lose that much as far as track position. Let's go to the backstretch and Ray Dunlap.
Well, John, we were talking about Robert Presley. They did pit for 4 tires. Now, the last set of tires they had on there, they had gone 120 laps on the right side and 160 laps on the left side, so they could make it all the way. We might see Davey Allison all over again. Bill Weber.
Jeff Gordon says he's working on his line, thinks he'll be better on the long runs. The 88 crew expects Jarrett to be better on a long run, too. They're into 100 green.
Labonte got a pretty good jump on that restart.
You can see why caution flags breeds caution flags.
Yeah, they get all bunched up. Those lap cars down on the inside, trying to gain as much as they can, and the lead lap cars on the outside, trying to get around them.
Labonte 3/4 of a second ahead of Dale Jarrett.
Cars on the lead lap. Rusty closes on Jarrett.
The 8 car, the Circuit City car, is back on the racetrack, and it's Mike Dillon, the driver of that car. The Busch Series driver that drives the Detroit Gasket Busch car. And Ernie Irvan is very slow. Has a left rear tire flat.
Oh, he sure does. He's made it to his backstretch pit, however. Can we determine what happened here?
Yeah, he and Bobby Hamilton right there make some contact, and that just knocks that bow stem off that left rear tire.
We've seen it happen several times here today.
Ray Dunlap is right there.
Well, you're exactly right, Bob. They're going to change the left side tires on the Skittles Pontiac, and what a tough break for Ernie. His last 10 races here at Bristol have been a finish of 16th or worse. They're having a pretty tough day.
And Jeff Gordon. Yeah, Jeff Gordon coming up and challenge Rusty. Rusty third, Jeff fourth. Again, you're going to notice on our rundowns that Kenny Irwin is shown twice. Kenny is in for Jeff Bodine in the 7th car. Kenny's car is out of the race. In fact, 43rd last.
Gordon gets around Rusty.
Yep. Goes by, so Rusty Wallace struggling right now as we watch the McDonald's Ford onboard camera. A couple laps down, as Ned told you just a moment ago, making an unscheduled pit stop.
Could have been scheduled because it had a long green flag run. He decided to come in, but unfortunately got caught because the caution came out right after that.
There's Jeremy Mayfield running 5th. Another great run for Jeremy. Bill has more on Rusty Wallace.
Well, amongst all this noise, the quietest place in Bristol might be Rusty Wallace's pit. They're very unhappy with the set of tires they have on that car. It's easy to see why. Rusty, who's led a lot of laps today, going the wrong way. They'd love to see a caution, and they'd like to see the rest of the front runners come in too. Otherwise, if he would have to pit, he'd give up all that track position.
Documented how Ernie Irvan got off to a good start this season at Daytona, but has continued to slide in the point standings, and you saw, as we saw his name, that he continues to go down. Now Dale Jarrett closing in on Terry Labonte.
He's about 1.2 seconds behind about 5 laps ago. Now it's 0.57 seconds.
Terry is in his 575th consecutive NASCAR Winston Cup race.
Every time he runs one, he sets a new record, doesn't he?
Yep. By the way, Ricky Rudd started his 600 NASCAR Winston Cup race today, not consecutive, but his 600 start. He's the 9th driver in NASCAR Winston Cup history to do so. There are 3 active drivers at that mark, Marcus and Darrell Waltrip besides Ricky.
Set the interval back from the leader. We see that Dale Jarrett is almost 0.7 of a second.
The yellow arrows will tell you who was the fastest that last lap. Well, Jeff looked like he was fastest.
Jarrett's lost 0.05 of a second in the last 3 laps. Labonte has picked up from 67 up to 72.
Bill Weber.
Well, it's worse than tires for Rusty Wallace. He may have a problem in the engine compartment. He may have dropped the cylinder. Robin Pemberton just gave you the signal. Something broke. So Rusty drifts high, and the field will go underneath. And these guys on Rust. Does not look like Rusty will win from the pole. In fact, he continues to slide further back in the field.
Indeed. You know, yesterday afternoon, in happy hour, Rusty Wallace had a miss. Remember that, Bob? We see Ted Musgrave going by. Here goes Jeff Burt by. Had a miss. They changed spark plugs and said that fixed the problem.
Yep, and it has reared its ugly head again. He's now all the way back to 11.
What a tough break. Has 5 top 5 finishes in the first 5 races. He's still driving it as hard as he can.
Some drivers will use a brace for their head. Rusty chooses a strap. Here's a battle for position. Bobby Labonte at 18 and Johnny Benson in 26.
I think Mark Martin just moved around Bobby Labonte and took over the 5th position.
Look at Roush Racing. They're running 6th, 9th, 8th, 10th, and 7th.
All 5 cars in the top 10.
As a matter of fact, the 18 car is the only car in the top 10 not connected with a multi-car team.
18 car, the Joe Gibbs Interstate Batteries Pontiac. Just broke ground this week on a brand new facility. Major facility.
120,000 square feet out of it. Oh, and somebody looked like Morgan Shepherd has an engine problem or is smoking down the backstretch.
Yeah, he's smoking down the front stretch too.
Tough break as Mark Martin looks back at Bobby Labonte. And Labonte's been able to pull away from the Johnny Benson car. And we see the 46 car that time got very, very loose as it came off the corner. And whatever that oil or smoke is, it probably got under the wheels and loosened the car up. Tough break for Morgan Shepherd. Had a great run going. Not a great run, a good run. So it's great. He comes in the pits and try to figure out what the smoke is, John Kernan.
Morgan Shepherd rode slowly into the pits, and it looks like the crew's just going to do a routine 4-tire change. We saw the smoke was going to get very loose. It actually looks like the left rear tire might be just a little bit low, but it changed right sides only, so he must have had a right side tire go flat on it.
Morgan moving back out of the racetrack. Meanwhile, there are fewer than 100 laps left. 94 to go. There is the leader, Terry Labonte. He's coming up on some slower traffic ahead. He has about a 3/4 of a second lead over Dale Jarrett, Jeff Gordon, Jeremy Mayfield, and Mark Martin in the top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
7th.
Yep. Was he? Yeah. I'm trying to figure out, was he 2 laps or the 1 lap? But he has done a great job.
Yep. That's right.
He wouldn't do that. Baby.
Good, Bob.
What happened to my relief drivers? Here we go. I forget who's in what car. I guess the 7 car is out of the race, huh?
She is.
Terry Labonte leads the Food City 500 with 417 laps completed. Last year in short track races, he was 5th overall. Terry Labonte was, with an average finish of 10th on the short tracks. Now let's go down to the pits and Bill Weber. John Kernan.
Well, I've been mistaken for Dr. Jerry Punch, but never Bill Weber, Bob. That's a new one. But let me show you the right rear tire that came off of Morgan Shepherd's car. Remember the smoke we saw? The fender was rubbing. Cut a groove all the way around the tire. So it was the right rear tire. A little groove. I mean, in Formula One, what they actually do that on purpose now. But in NASCAR, that's not a good thing to have a groove in your tire.
It's like it's perfect all the way around, huh?
And I tell you what, it wouldn't have, about another lap or so, and that groove would have gone into the air, and Morgan Shepherd would have spun out.
Been in the wall. Morgan is 3 laps down now, running in 27th position.
So that was the smoke that I saw out of the 46 car and not the engine.
Boy, you got to give a call to Ted Musgrave. Remember earlier in the race where he ran up on Todd Bodine, that car right in front of him?
Yeah.
Boy, he has come on very well since then. He dropped at least 1 lap down and is currently in 7th position on the lead lap. His incident with Todd Bodine happened on lap number 52.
Them coming off the second corner, they make contact, and watch. As Musgrave goes across the hood of the Tabasco car, and now, as you said, he is in 7th spot.
Great comeback effort.
And meanwhile, Rusty Wallace is about to get lapped in 15th.
That problem that he has, apparently running on 7 cylinders. Well, what a tough break for him.
Bill Weber.
And he is off the lead lap now. As you see, all he did was radio into his crew that the motor broke. That's all he said, the motor broke. Later on, he told him he believes they've dropped a cylinder and a half. So he's got a long 80 laps or so to ride out here trying to protect his points lead.
Rusty was trying to extend his 5 consecutive top 5 finishes in 1998. You see that Davey Allison had 5 in 92 and finished 3rd in the championship. Dale Earnhardt had 6 top 5 finishes to start the season in 1980 and went on to win the NASCAR Winston Cup. But you see the record there. Cale Yarborough in 74 started the season with 9 straight top 5 finishes.
Wow. That is strong.
It is.
And we talked about Robert Presley. He is in 14th position, about to go a lap down.
Meanwhile, Jarrett closes in on Terry Labonte once again.
He's been inching up ever so close. Traffic has something to do with it a lot of times.
Presley running 14th now, a lap down. 13 cars on the lead lap. Michael Waltrip, the last car on the lead lap.
And he's not far in front of the leader.
Here's the 24 car. Jeff Gordon running third, about 2 seconds behind Terry. Jeff Gordon, 10 races, 3 wins at Bristol, 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s. But he also has 4 DNFs because of accidents. There's Mark Martin running fourth.
About 5.3 seconds behind the leader.
He's 3 seconds behind Jeff Gordon. The next car in front of him was the third place car.
And behind Mark Martin will be the car number 12, Jeremy Mayfield. There you see Mark on the left of your screen, and there comes the 12 into the picture. He's about 6 seconds behind the leader.
This is his 7th race here at Bristol. 1 top 10. He finished 9th in last year's spring race. Take a look at the points now. Bonnie, Gordon, and Martin, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Mayfield will be ever so much closer.
Yep. Now Terry Labonte comes up on a lot of traffic. There's Michael Waltrip just ahead. So is John Andretti and Jimmy Spencer.
Michael Waltrip in 13th spot. We see that Jarrett is right there. Where Labonte catches the traffic might make the difference. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose this race?
And we have a car up in the wall as Rusty Wallace.
Caution is out. John Andretti ran into the back of Jimmy Spencer as Spencer slowed down as he got the caution flag.
And a tough day for Wallace. His Miller Lite Ford is damaged in the front end after going up and kissing the concrete.
He's hit the wall pretty good.
Yeah, and that right front tire is flat now, and that probably is what caused him to get into the wall.
He just takes the car directly behind the wall.
The leaders will be coming into the pits.
Watch this, folks, as Rusty Wallace goes down the straightaway. And right there, we see something come out of Ricky Rudd's car. And I guess that he's going to run over this. Watch as
there it comes back out.
There it comes out, and Rusty Wallace runs over it with the right front tire. And you say sometimes you got to have a little luck. Folks, that was bad luck. And watch as we go directly into the wall.
Pit stops occurring. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon
gets out first.
Yep. Jarrett second, Terry Labonte third, and Ray Dunlap is in the backstretch.
Well, Bob, Ted Musgrave's Prime Star Taurus is a little banged up in the front, but they're going to try to get him back out real quick. 4 tires and gas, and he's down and away.
Well, look at the replay once again of what happened to Rusty Wallace.
There see Ricky Rudd. I don't know.
Can't really see what it was, but it sure cut the tire.
We'll do this in real time as we follow Ricky Rudd and listen.
Here's Bill Weber.
Well, the Miller Lite Ford is back here behind pit wall. You can take a look at the tire that obviously he had tremendous difficulty with. severely punctured. The right side of the car heavily damaged. Rusty's out of the car. He's declined all interviews. He's very, very disappointed. He had the engine problem as well. So right now, Rusty out of the car. It's behind the wall. The crew's going to work on it to get him back out. He's definitely racing for points, but it's clear, very clear how disappointed he is.
And you sure can't blame him. That is a tough, tough break.
Championships are won and lost in situations like this. It's early in the season. Jeremy Mayfield is, as of right now, the points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition in 1998. Jeff Gordon is the leader of the race. Back in a moment. Wow, how about that?
You can hear Rusty's car missing on that replay, too.
Yep. Good. Well, does it come off a Rudd's car, or did he run over it and kick it out? I mean, you know, it could come off. It could be either way. Bounces up. It's hard to tell what it is.
I would guess it, with the force that it was bouncing lid.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
Bounces off the wall and kicks back out there. Okay.
60 laps to go.
Musgrave lost 3 spots on that pit stop. Did all those guys change 4 tires in the front?
All I saw did.
Go, 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 to the right.
Chad Little was up there in 7th place.
You said caution flags, Creed's caution flags.
We went green briefly, and then we had another wreck, and it involved a couple of drivers who were in the top 10. Bobby Labonte, as you see, was involved, and so was Chad Little and Mike Skinner. Now we'll take a look at the replays.
Here we see Labonte on the outside, the 18 car on the outside. Going in the corner, there's Mike Skinner. Looks like they make contact, and Skinner gets hit from behind by the 97 car. And now the 18 car is going to, all of a sudden, as the 31 car comes down the racetrack. Oh, there's what 36-degree banks will do for you.
That's right. Look how slick it is. Wow. Here it is from another angle down.
Once again, the green flag, the green car gets tagged from Skinner, and then the 97 in the back of the 31 car. And also the 33 car, I don't know if Schrader was involved or not. He was up there high.
Looks like he pulls up there and maybe stop. He does pull up there and stop.
I get it.
Has to make a square left.
Here's the Mike Skinner's in-car camera. All right, Bill Weber now is with Rusty Wallace.
And Rusty, first of all, I know you're really disappointed what happened.
Yeah, I am. Now we blew another motor, and it lost about, it feels like it almost lost 2 cylinders out there. I think it was turning only 8,500 RPM real low, and so it went go. It went by, and nothing we could do about that. So then I was just riding it out, trying to get as many points as I could, and we lost a right front tire then. So, man, it all came at once. Blew the motor, then lost the tire, and that's it.
It appears through the replay that you may have run over something to puncture that tire. Did you see anything?
No, I didn't, but I'm sure I did because, you know, the car was handling really good, and I had a set of tires that really wasn't working the way I wanted it to right there at that last stop. So I was just riding out to the next caution flag to get in and change them, but I had a great car all day long, but I can't believe the motor blew up, man. It's just amazing, but it did again.
You've had the great start to the season. Does this take away from it?
Yeah, it does take away from it because I really thought the engine gremlins were gone. And it came back again, so we're just going to have to stay working on it. We'll make a major change next week and probably carry it on through the rest of the year, to tell you the truth.
This is a disappointment to you, but a challenge to your crew to bounce back after the strong start.
Well, I think we got a great car, and we're handling really good, and I believe we'll bounce back. I'm not concerned about that. I don't know how bad we'll get hurt in the points today. I'm sure we'll fall to second. If anybody gets it, hopefully Jeremy will jump up and get the lead for me. But yeah, it's just too bad, because I really thought I could have won this race today.
Okay, well, he's still in the points lead right now, but we've got a lot of laps yet to run. Rusty able to smile, but it's clear the disappointment is behind that smile. He thought he was going to win at Bristol again today.
He will not win his 7th race at Bristol. Well, the race has been red flagged. You see the car stopped over on the backstretch. Here again is what Rusty ran over. Right there.
It either came off of Rudd's car, and of course he cut a tire and into the wall he went, or it could have come off of another car and Rudd kicked it up in front of Rusty. We're not sure about that.
And you see on the board there, red flag. There's a lot of debris up there, and there's only 50 laps to go. If it would take 10 or 15 laps under the caution flag, so NASCAR not trying to take the green flag of racing away from the fans, said throw the red, let's clean this mess up, and then we'll run our 50 laps.
It's very slick up there in that turn 2. Turn also, as we saw Chad Little slide down the banking. So they're going to clean everything up, get the track back in racing condition, and then the final 54 laps of the Food City 500.
They all come to stop. They're all in, changing tires. Jeff Gordon stops. Right side is up. Right side is on. Right side is down. About the same time as Terry Labonte. Dale Jarrett's back working on his left side. Clean the windshield on Gordon's car. Jarrett moves, but Gordon moves as well and takes the lead. And Dale Jarrett second, Terry Labonte in third.
Another great work by piece of work from the Rainbow Warriors to get Jeff out first. We're going to go back to green next time around.
48 laps to go when the green flag is waved.
11 cars on the lead lap.
Pennzoil Copter Cam showing you that now part of the backstretch in the third turn will be engulfed in shadows for the remainder of the race. Off of corner 4, here we go.
Randy LaJoie was able to get between the first and second place car.
Dale Jarrett has been pressured hard by Terry Labonte for that second spot.
Jarrett's car in the first few laps just does not go too good. It didn't do when they put new tires on it before. Labonte's going to get the spot.
Yes, he has got a good run off that 4th corner, kind of diamond the corner up there in 4, and has taken second place from Dale Jarrett. The Hendrick cars are first and second, and the other Hendrick car is there between them, although Randy LaJoie is a lap down in 12th position.
Mr. Compton should come out. I wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't get back in the lead lap. He's running good.
Terry Labonte competing in his 39th race here. second in this spring race in '84 and '96. Has won the fall race twice. Jeff Gordon, meanwhile, going for his 4th straight win in this spring event. John Kernan.
Bob, it's only fitting that Randy LaJoie is running in the spot he is right now on the racetrack between the 2 other Hendrick cars. Randy, when they unloaded the car, just did not feel comfortable to him. He and his team tried and tried to get that comfort level there, but no, they couldn't find it. So this morning, what they decided to do was take part of Jeff Gordon's setup, put it on the car, take part of Terry Labonte's setup, and put it on the car. So it's a combination of the 24 and the 5-car setup on that 50 car. So that's pretty cool that he's in between them, except for now Terry has passed him.
And Dale Jarrett is being worked on now by Jeremy Mayfield.
And Jimmy Spencer spins down the back stretch as we see it, and no caution. But boy, there's so much smoke back there that I don't know how anybody can see through. And Gordon slows down, and there is no caution.
And everybody else is slowing down. The other leaders are slowing down too. The spotters should tell them, come on guys, there is no caution. Now they get the word.
Well, it certainly has allowed Terry Labonte to close in on Jeff Gordon. There was so much smoke in the backstretch. Some of the cars, I think, almost had to stop over there. There was zero visibility.
The cars behind Jimmy Spencer, in fact, some of them did stop because there was. If we take a look, watch as Spencer goes down. He nails that thing, and look at the smoke, folks.
Man.
And there he makes some contact with the 46 car when he gets going again. Okay, now back to live action.
Jimmy Spencer in 12th spot, a lap down, causing the commotion back there, but no caution. And now Jeff Gordon's for his teammate Terry Labonte is only a half second.
Yeah, Labonte is definitely picking up on him.
Ray Evernham said, Bill Weber talked to him just a moment ago, and he said Terry Labonte next to Rusty Wallace had the best car all day.
He has been very, very good, although he lost 800 for the second day.
And we were about to see Jeremy Mayfield trying to make a move on Dale Jarrett there when the incident occurred, and now there's a little bit of racetrack between those two, but Jarrett holding on to 3rd spot.
And Johnny Benson has passed Mark Martin to move into 5th spot.
From the Pennzoil copter cam, there is the separation between 1st and 2nd. As the laps continue to click off, when they hit the line, there will be 33 laps to go. Jeff Gordon is continuing now to pull away a bit from Terry Labonte. The interval now up to 3/4 of a second.
I think Spencer and the 4-car made contact. And maybe the 4-car had to go in the pits. Maybe he had a flat tire or something. Did the 4-car just pit? Okay.
Card number.
Man, Spencer's loose, eh? Wow.
I don't find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. 25 laps to go in the Food City 500 from Bristol, Tennessee, and Tennessee is also in the spotlight tonight at 8:30 on ESPN as the #1 rated Tennessee Lady Vols go to the championship game of the NCAA Women's Tournament against the Louisiana Tech Lady Techsters. 8:30 tonight on ESPN, the championship game of the Women's NCAA Basketball Tournament. Teammates Jeff Gordon and Terry Labonte running first and second, and the interval now begins to shrink considerably down to a third of a second for Jeff over Terry.
And they're coming up on some heavy lap traffic, Bob. They've been in so much for the last while, but there's about 7 cars in front of them there now that they'll have to contend with. Even though they're running in single file, it still slows them down as Ricky Rudd moves totally out of the way, lets them go.
We just got some great news from the local hospital. Hut Strickland has been released. They x-rayed him and did all kinds of other tests, and they say, Hut, you're fine. Go home.
Oh, that's great.
That is great news.
He took a hard look.
And he beat the traffic.
If there's a positive, I guess that's it.
22 laps to go. Let's check the intervals. About a half second now. 1 3/4 second advantage over Jarrett. The fastest lap was by Dale Jarrett.
He might be out of time, though, because we see he's a 2 3/4 back. And it takes some time for his car to get going.
Yes, it does.
5 car closed in a bit that time. He passes Lake Speed.
Todd Bodine, the Tabasco car, lets the leader go by.
With Todd Bodine, who is 14 laps down in 29th place.
Briggs and Stratton onboard camera as Jeff Gordon gets by David Green. There's Kevin LePage. He's got to negotiate around. And meanwhile, Terry Labonte is right there. So now Labonte catches the pace from off the field. That hurt him just a little bit. 2 or 3 car lengths.
Jarrett closes in now to within a second of Jeff Gordon.
But now, unfortunately, Jarrett has to go through that same traffic that we saw Jeff Gordon get through.
Exactly. And he lost 3/10 of a second on that lap by getting caught up in that traffic. Oh, and Gordon tangles with the 98 car? And they spun around. Let's see, the 98 spun around. Gordon's okay. He kept going.
No caution.
No caution yet.
Now there is.
Wow, caution flag now. Who's going to stop with 15 laps to go? Is anybody going to stop?
I don't think so, Benny, unless it would be those guys at the tail end of the lead lap. They'd have nothing to lose.
It's the 14th caution of the race, and it comes with 13 laps to go. Here's the replay.
See, Jeff Gordon's coming up on Greg Sachs, clips him just a little bit. Cut it a little bit too close, and Sachs spins around down to the inside of the racetrack. It took him a while to get going, and the caution was already out by then. Here it is again, coming up off turn 2. See, Sachs is down out of the way, but Gordon just misjudged it just a little bit, similar to Dale Jarrett hitting Mike Skinner a little bit earlier today.
So what does that do? Well, it closes up the interval once again as the caution waves. It is anybody's race here at Bristol with just a little more than 10 laps to go. We'll be back in a moment.
Well, DJ got right behind them.
Yep. See the 99 and the 33 coming in.
Yep.
Which is smart.
They have nothing to lose.
No, and it'll be a single file restart with the leaders all, up in front of everybody else. More than likely. Depends on how long this caution flag stays out.
Yeah.
There's Rusty coming back out. So his motor's not totally gone.
He's down to 35th now because the 31, the 18, and the 97. Well, the 97, I guess, he may be able to beat the 97.
Yeah. And the 18. If he beats one, he beat the other.
That's true.
Yeah,
Pay attention to talking about that.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
For 5 minutes we talked. I understand that.
It's very
For 5 minutes we talk about it.
Well, not very good. Sometimes you don't do that very good either. Is this my water back here?
Yeah.
It's gotten warm again. Oh, well. Yes. Yes, Mikey. Mikey, then I'm going to take over your condo.
Maybe 1 to go. Now let's see. There's 11 laps to go.
When they hit the line, there will be 10 to go. So what does that mean? Hit the line, they'll get the green flag, and there will be 10 laps to go. Several cars at the tail end of the lead lap, namely Schrader and Jeff Burton, came in and got some fresh tires, so this is going to be interesting.
Go, 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 go.
They're all hoping to beat Dick Trickle down in that first turn. Jeff Gordon did. Terry Labonte, he got by him pretty good. Jerry wasn't held up too much, but Jeff Gordon got a big lead.
There in 4th place clears Dick Trickle. Here comes Johnny Benson in 5th. And Presley is up high.
Against the wall. Like the right front tires flat on the Jasper engine car. Tough break for Presley. We see he's pancaked the right side of it. We're running 13th, 1 lap down.
And Rusty Wallace is back out on the racetrack, of course, many laps down, just trying to beat some of those cars that are out of the race. Oh, this is Jeremy Mayfield very high as he ran in on Dale Jarrett.
And now here comes Dick Trickle back. And also Mark Martin and Jeff Burton all able to get by Jeremy.
And Jeff Burton was one of those drivers that made a pit stop, changed some tires.
So Jeremy Mayfield losing positions plus,
and he spins. Almost. This is right in front of a lot of cars.
Wow,
no caution. Don't know how everybody missed it. Let's see. The caution is not out yet.
He's sitting there.
NASCAR is looking at it. He's sitting the wrong way. If he was sitting the other way, he might get going, but he's going to have a hard time. And caution that he got in his hand. Is he going to throw it? Ooh. He's just trying to get back up on the... Now he's got his car moving.
They're going to stay under green. It looks like Jeremy is moving.
Boy, what a costly situation that was for him. He has taken over the points lead.
Here's a replay.
Here he comes off the corner. That's Ted Musgrave. Underneath him. Oh, some contact between Musgrave and... Oh, he backs up in the fence. And Musgrave looked like he lost a spot to Schrader. Yes, he did. And you're right, guys. I don't know how in the world he stood down between those cars.
Meanwhile, there are only 3 more laps to go. Make that 2.5 laps to go. That incident put Rusty Wallace back in the points lead by 1 single marker. Wow. Rusty is back on there. Look at him. 909 for Rusty and 908 for Mayfield. The points right now.
And Jeff Gordon has a good, comfortable lead with coming around to get the white flag. 1 more lap to go. He's coming up on traffic.
But on Mayfield, and he's already cleared Greg Sachs.
And here's the battle for 2nd place behind him.
Going for 4 straight wins in the Food City 500. Here is Jeff Gordon taking the checkered flag and winning his 4 straight. Terry Labonte 2nd. Dale Jarrett is 3rd. And with that 4 straight win in this race, he ties Darrell Walter, who won 4 straight in 81, 82, 83, and 84. Jeff Gordon wins here at Bristol in the Food City 500. We'll be back to talk with him in just a moment. Okay.
Give me a Pepsi.
ESPN Speed World at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee for the Food City 500, being brought to you by Mobil 1 Synthetic Motor Oil. Nothing outperforms Mobil 1. By Racing Champions NASCAR Collectibles. Check out the latest die-cast cars at your favorite retailer today. By Briggs & Stratton. Put more power in your lineup. Make sure all your outdoor power equipment has a powerful Briggs & Stratton engine. Jeff Gordon takes a cold drink of water, winning the Food City 500 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Down to the McDonald's winner's circle and Bill Weber.
And Jeff Gordon gets the victory kiss from his wife, Brooke, a big hug. And congratulations, our first two-time winner of 1997, and you had to work for it today, young man.
Oh, boy, I tell you, we sure did. Man, what an awesome team. I tell you what, they deserve all the credit for this one. I want to thank God for certainly looking over me, not only on the racetrack, but off the racetrack. We're very, very blessed, very fortunate. But I tell you what, that pit crew, we need to bust off a good pit stop and get out front, get some good track position, and we did it. We tightened it up, and I tell you what, that's what we need, to get out front and get that car tightened up. Pretty amazing day. There's a lot of guys running real strong out there, and I didn't know if I could hold off Terry. He was pretty strong.
Crew Chief Ray Evernham told me this morning, Jeff, there are a few tracks where you just have an excellent feel for the race car. This is one of them, and it looks like it paid off for you today.
Well, it sure did. I don't know if it's, you know, just bringing me back to the short tracks or, you know, what it is. It's just, I love this place, and this place has been real good to me. And tell you, when you get a car that can run up front, you know, it makes it a whole lot easier. And we qualified up front, so we got the pit up front, and all we need was one good pit stop there at the end, and we got it.
And Terry right behind you, perhaps trying to pull a Gordon there in the closing laps. Couldn't quite do it.
Hey, let me tell you, Terry's as aggressive as anybody when it comes to a win. And, you know, got to say hey to Rick. It's a great 1-2 finish for Hendrick Motorsports, and we're really proud and proud to finish 1-2 with Terry right there. And I tell you, had he got in front of me, I don't think I could have got him. But I want to thank DuPont Automotive Fishes, Quaker State, and Pepsi for everything they do. This Chevrolet was in victory lane today. I'm pretty proud of it.
The first short track win of 1998 goes to the 1997 Winston Cup champion, Jeff Gordon.
It is his 8th short track victory of his career and the 31st overall win for Jeff Gordon. The unofficial results, these yellow markers indicate those who led a lap. You'll see Rusty Wallace as having led the most laps in just a few minutes. Michael Waltrip, the last car on the lead lap, in 9th. LaJoie has his best career finish.
And Jeremy Mayfield will go back to 12th spot after that spin over in turn 3. As we look at 16 through 30, Bobby Hamilton, Ernie Irvin, both led laps. Morgan Shepherd will come on 24th today.
And here the remainder of the field, and you can see that double arrow there. That means that Rusty Wallace led the most laps, so he got 10 bonus points.
And Those bonus points have kept him in the points lead, but it's just one single marker over his teammate, Jeremy Mayfield. Jeff Gordon moved up 1, Labonte up 2, Elliott stayed in the 5th position, Earnhardt lost 3. Martinsville is our next race coverage. Friday, April 17th, Bud Pole qualifying. A modified tour race on Saturday along with happy hour. Then on Sunday at Martinsville, it'll be NASCAR today at 12:30 and the Goodies Headache Powder 500 at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Sunday, April the 19th. So another great event here at Bristol Motor Speedway saw Jeff Gordon take the checkered flag. Coming up next, NASCAR Shop Talk with Rusty Wallace, who is still the points leader in the 1998 season. Great run here today. We look forward to Martinsville in a couple of weeks. There will be Easter between now and then, and so happy Easter to everybody. Jeff Gordon wins here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. For Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, John Kernan, Bill Weber, and Ray Dunlap, I'm Bob Jenkins. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Hey, Weber, are you still on? Is Bill Weber
I'm here.
Good job.
Go ahead. You need something, BP?
You might check the 2-car, I think, by getting back on the racetrack, beat the 18 and 19,
Okay.
the 18 and 97.
I'll check.
It might be just a tidbit and 6 more points
Okay.
if he did.
Are you going directly? Are you leaving right away, BP?
Yeah, well.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
I could stay if you need for me to.
I don't want to make you stay, man. Thanks. Please feed that video if you can. Thanks.
All right.
The next Monday, I'll be in on vacation. There you go. There you go. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Stand by. You're watching the 6th race of the NASCAR 1998 Winston Cup season. It's the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. We now move ahead in our coverage of this event. Okay. You're watching highlighted coverage of the Food City 500 NASCAR Winston Cup race from Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. Our next Winston Cup coverage will be at Martinsville Friday, April 17th, Bud Pole qualifying. A modified race and happy hour on Saturday. Then on Sunday race day, it begins with NASCAR today at 12:30 and the Goodies Headache Powder 500 live at 1 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday, April the 19th. Back to Bristol after this. Thank you. See you guys. Rusty Wallace.
And Rusty, first of all, I know you're really disappointed what happened.
Yeah, I am. Now we blew another motor, and it lost about. It feels like it almost lost 2 cylinders out there. I think it was turning only 8,500 RPM real low, and so it went go. It went by, and nothing we could do about that. So then I was just riding it out, trying to get as many points as I could, and we lost the right front tire then. So, man, it all came at once. Blew the motor, then lost the tire, and that's it.
It appears through the replay that you may have run over something to puncture that tire. Did you see anything?
No, I didn't, but I'm sure I did because, you know, the car was handling really good, and I had a set of tires that really wasn't working the way I wanted it to right there at that last stop. So I was just riding out to the next caution flag to get in and change them, but I had a great car all day long, but I can't believe the motor blew up, man. It's just amazing, but it did again.
You've had the great start to the season. Does this take away from it?
Yeah, it does take away from it, because I really thought the engine gremlins were gone, and it came back again. So we're just going to have to stay working on it. We'll make a major change next week and probably carry it on through the rest of the year, to tell you the truth.
This is a disappointment to you, but a challenge to your crew to bounce back after the strong start.
Well, I think we got a great car, and we're handling really good, and I believe we'll bounce back. I'm not concerned about that. I don't know how bad we'll get hurt in the points today. I'm sure we'll fall to second. If anybody gets it, hopefully Jeremy will jump up and get the lead for me. But, yeah, it's just too bad, because I really thought I could have won this race today.
Okay, well, he's still in the points lead right now, but we've got a lot of laps yet to run. Rusty able to smile, but it's clear the disappointment is behind that smile. He thought he was going to win at Bristol again today.
He will not win his 7th race at Bristol. Well, the race has been red flagged. You see the car stopped over on the backstretch. Here again is what Rusty ran over. Right there.
It either came off of Rudd's car, and of course he cut a tire and into the wall he went, or he could have come off of another car and Rudd kicked it up in front of Rusty. We're not sure about it.